You looked great. You feel great. You were amazing. And guess what? Now it's my turn.
Hey, Mario, have you ever, I know, were you hanging out with Snoop? Because I see that Snoop is fight on.
Baby, come on. That is in shape.
Yeah,
look at the way he's making him a miss.
Al, I know you're a straight arrow guy, but how is it feeling high for the first time?
Well, I will say this is probably the first boxing broadcast on which I've gotten a contact on.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to say it's the first one.
You have a cocktail. Yeah, so do I. So.
And it's the first one to actually get a contact
Mario, what do you think, Mario?
Hey, I think I'm a part.
Oh, baby, just go. Attack, baby. Attack like the golden boy. Let's go.
It looks like a matter of time.
Oscar's in rare form. I love it.
Oh, baby, I would have had this done in a second.
In a second?
You like that small ring, Oscar?
I love this. Hey, I would fight in a phone booth if I can to.
You got to tell us. July 3rd, who are you leaning towards? Can you tell me?
I always fought the very best.
Okay.
There will not be an exception. I will fight the very best again.
So you're looking more boxing?
It doesn't matter. I'm going to fight the best. Let me shout out to my son, Oscar OG. What's up? He's feeling tired. He's feeling restless. He's feeling worried because Steve Cunningham is the real deal. He's the USSA, baby.
Well, he was a part of the Navy for 4 years, so he's not the USSR.
That was a nice. Oscar knows all about chingazos.
I would throw the left jab to Frank Mir's body, double, triple jab, and feint, and come back with the right hand, and boom, left hook and knock him out. But do not count out Frank Mir. Look at him. He can move. But I think it's a matter of time. Unless I'm wrong, because Frank Mir has the punching power to knock him out with one punch. Surprised by Frank Mir, he's bringing the game to the table, baby. He's bringing it all to the table. He's fighting USSA, baby.
Jacob Stitch Duran. I think Stitch worked your corner at one time, right, Oscar? Am I wrong?
Never did.
Okay,
never
well,
did.
My fault.
Never did, but it's never too late.
Yeah, maybe you'll
July 3rd,
July 3rd,
baby.
right?
July 3rd, baby.
It is
4th of July weekend. Hey, I started Cinco de Mayo. Now I'm going to start 4th of July weekend. America's birth, baby. Let's go.
Wow.
Am I cool or what? Should I get out or what?
But we do know that
Show
he
my
can
fucking
punch
face more.
because when he fought Tyson,
never did.
No,
Frank
I'm
Mir's
actually
doing
very
amazing
surprised.
against USSA. Frank Mir is doing incredible. He's doing amazing against a fighter who is a world-class freaking athlete. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
It's a movement. Those are very small rings, so moving is difficult.
They're fighting in a phone booth.
Yeah, they're fighting in a small ring.
a phone booth, baby.
That's another way to put it.
You're right. Has to work the body.
Actually,
straight
you're right,
right hands,
Oscar.
straight jabs, right hands to the body.
Yeah,
boom. Take the wind out of him. It's like a balloon. It's like a balloon. You have a balloon. You keep pounding the balloon. Pound it. The air comes out. Mario, I like Frank Mir's pressure. He's pressuring.
Yeah, that's the way he's got to
move
fight.
Side to side. Move the head. Move the head side to side. Don't smother yourself. Keep your distance. Throw your punches long, and you can take down the USSA. I like the jab. I like the jabs from Frank Mir. I like the jabs. Double jab, triple jab, double jab, triple jab. Come on, baby.
He just got popped with the right hand.
Double jab to the top, right hand to the bottom, left hook, right hand to the bottom. Sayonara. But Ali had his hands down, and look at what he did to Frazier. Ali Frazier, baby.
Yeah, but come on now. That's Ali. That's the GOAT. Sorry to say to everybody, that's the GOAT. Frank Mir, good fighter, but not the GOAT.
Don't smother him. Don't smother him. Take a step back. Frank Mir, take a step back,
needs to go.
Don't smother. Don't smother. Your mother will tell you, don't smother.
Don't, sir.
Oh,
Chocolate Dell's got like 50 pounds on him.
The Iceman.
I don't want to get my ass iced.
Yo, that was a bad boy. Finished off Tito Ortiz, Randy Couture. That is the OG.
I don't want to get my ass iced. I don't care if he had 1 pound.
Yeah,
I don't want to get iced.
Hey,
I like this. This is high level. This is high level boxing.
Yep.
This is high level boxing right here.
You're right, Al.
I love Frank Mir. I love Steve Cunningham. They're doing high-level boxing right here, baby. What people have to understand is Frank Mir has him by 70 pounds. 70 pounds.
Yeah.
You keep pressuring him. You keep pressuring him. You just get him tired by not throwing no punches.
Right. Well,
you know that, Mario?
That's right. That's
Keep
exactly
throwing.
right.
Keep throwing. Frank Mir, keep throwing. Go, 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 go. Deflate the balloon, baby. Deflate the balloon, Frank Mir. Let's go, baby.
We see guy with sign is in the house.
Woo.
Guy with sign says gloves up. Yeah, well, no shit.
USSAF, baby.
But Al, are you still high from what Snoop went ahead and's been smoking all night long?
Well, I think we established that. Contact highs exist.
Okay. Oh, so you're saying it is a thing?
Imagine the Golden Boy and Snoop in the same room, baby. In the same room. Let's go, baby. USSR. Cunningham is a professional. Cunningham is a professional. Frank Mir has to feint more. I love the action. I love the action.
Fuzzy there, Al. A little fuzzy. It's all right.
Al's got a big smile on his face.
Yeah, you forgot about
puff,
puff, pass? I mean, come on now. I'm at the end of the table, boy. What's up?
Oh, look at Frank Mir.
took the round
Look
off.
at Frank Mir coming
Exactly.
in. Frank Mir has to pressure him, but he has to feint. Feint him. Make him think. The USSA is all about being a professional fighter. Feint him. I've seen heavyweight fights at the highest level, and these guys are throwing bombs every single second, every single minute. Hands off to them.
Nice right
My
hand
hat
by
off.
Steve Cunningham.
Did he do a double right hand?
Yeah, he's comfortable. He got his hands.
You see, look at the way Frank Mir is stand up straight.
Oh, there it was.
You see that?
There it was, right
He's
there.
squared up. He's squared up. He's a big target. Watch the right hand. Watch the
laser.
right hand. Here he comes. Here he comes. Here he comes.
That 1-2.
USSA.
It's that
USSA,
1-2.
baby. USSA. Here we go. This is the last round, baby. You got to fight till the end. You got to go. Take a deep breath and just go hard, baby. You think about a fighter's life. This is what it's all about right here. The last 2 minutes of your life.
Yep.
You want to fight or you want to fold. This is his chance right now to pop it. Let's go, baby.
He needs
Let's
to pop
go.
the balloon.
Go. You don't want to
Oh,
regret.
good shot.
You don't want to regret when you're in your dressing room and saying to yourself, I should have done more. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Oscar hyped.
This is all you have, baby. Let's go. Baby, you're getting hit anyway. Might as well go on in your shield, baby. Let's go, baby. Frank Mir, Cunningham, let's go, baby.
For boxer,
Every time I fought, Mario,
Yeah.
every time I fought, the next day I asked myself, did I give it my all? Did I give it my all? Let's go, Cunningham. Let's go, Frank Mir. Let's go, baby.
I like
Yeah,
the
but
passion,
I bet
Oscar.
you didn't get a belt presented by Dixie and Charlie D'Amelio. I'll tell you that,
I
Oscar.
got 11 belts.
Mir, Steve
10
Cunningham,
seconds. Let's go,
Dixie
baby.
and
10
Charlie
seconds.
D'Amelio. And
That
we
was an
go to
entertaining scrap.
distance.
With that said, I am joined by the boys. Check us out on Facebook. First, we'll start with Miguel. How you doing, Miguel?
Doing well. Well, thank you so much. Today's finally my day off. I've been working a lot of overtime, and then actually, well, I'm going to say day off. It's like I finished my complete overtime now because we have to have like a mandatory certain amount of hours of overtime, and I completed them today. So now I get to enjoy my weekends from here on out. But doing well. Thank you for asking.
Excellent, excellent. Anything special going on for the holidays?
Just my relative. Well, my sister is in town. She lives in Van Nuys, California. So she came to visit for the week. I'm not sure if she's just going to stick around until for New Year's or not. But she's going to be here through Christmas, and that's pretty much it. Just hanging out with the family.
Oh, you won't be able to talk her into helping move. Disappointing.
Oh no, she's helping. She at the very least she's packing, helping us pack
Okay,
the
fair
dishes.
enough. Fair enough.
She's helping for sure.
Excellent. And as always, the Grandmaster of Disaster himself, the man whose flying sperm of fury has created an entire flock in the Northern Bay area of Lapachets. Andrew, the legend Lapachet. How are you, Andrew?
Hey, how's it going, you guys? Thank you very much, Lee.
Merry happy ho-ho, my
Lee.
friend. Merry happy ho-ho.
It's definitely on my side. When I hung up and then reconnected, I seen a little red line through my headset. I don't know how to get that off.
I guarantee there's a button, and I almost literally did a spit take for the video version of this when you started back in. So for those of you who don't know, this goes on every week. Andrew
Shut up.
hates his headset. So understand, once every few months, I send him updated gear for whatever he gets relegated to because either the kids broke it or he can't operate it or it died. So I send him new hardware to work with whatever he's got at that moment. We are now struggling with the headset microphone combination that plugs into the tablet that, if you recall, in a regular listener, is the one that he had to start using as he sat in the backyard to freeze off his ass a few months back when he got thrown out of the house to do this show. Now, if we do a straight boxing show, I'm going to give everybody the option for Christmas. I will do a legitimate straight boxing show today. Although I've got queued up everything you guys want in a regular Fight Net Radio. But I'm going to let these two guys decide. Would you, Miguel, like to do one regular show without one crazy comment by me, news fed to you correctly, real boxing talk for one full, I don't know if it'll go longer than an hour because it'll be the dullest show ever, but an hour of real boxing talk, Miguel?
No, hell no. Then it'll be like every other show.
Pretty much. No, we don't talk over each other. We actually all have really good timing. We wouldn't be like everybody else. We don't talk over each other.
Yeah.
That's the truth. Andrew, you're actually the large and in charge guy. Would you like to try to do one regular straight boxing show for Christmas?
No, I agree with Miguel. Just let.
Well, with that
We'll
said,
try the madness, but just be natural.
Be natural? Are you saying that I should just cue the heavy metal Christmas music and make this a regular Fight Net Radio? Hi, everyone. Welcome to Fight Net Radio. Sorry, that was funny to me. The fact that there's metal covers of Christmas songs kills me. Go to boxingtonight.io. Follow us, click us, like us, share us. Follow at Miggs, at Lee Honish, at Andrew Lapachet. Let's jump into it. Here's how the show works. We rewind the clock one full week, and we catch you up on stories. The bulk of this show this week is going to be talking about all of the fights that happened this weekend. I think we only have 4 or 5 decent stories to talk about to catch you up to speed so that during the holidays, when people go, is Floyd Mayweather going to fight Canelo? No, he's not. Just give him the don't explain. Don't explain that he's going to fight a cruiserweight. Don't do it to yourself. It's our holiday tip to you. Just go, no, that's not going to happen. That's all you have to say. That's all you have to say. Think how simple that is. And if you're all wondering how I'm doing through the Christmas season, I'm going to Vegas to go record the year-end, well, not just, as one of the things. Miguel and I on Tuesday will be recording the 2-part holiday show live in Las Vegas. I feel like we need to do it in downtown or something. Like we need a really funky location for it.
All right.
We've decided, Miguel and I wrote it last week, we're doing the award show nobody wants but really needs in boxing. I'll give you guys all a little teaser. The category that Miguel and I laughed the hardest about was best male titties on a fighter. And it was great when the first thing he said was, I think Kaunaki wins that. Like, right? Hands down. I said, I don't know. I got to review the photos. And we will. I guarantee it'll be a heavyweight division. Mm-hmm. I wanted to do real women. That would get Andrew in trouble. But Andrew will not get in trouble talking about, does Adam Kaunaki have the best breasts in the heavyweight division, Andrew? I mean, are they a sight to be seen?
We'll leave that as a teaser and more to come later, Lee, because
there you go. And yes, we'll do all the regular categories. What did we think our favorite fight of the year was? We'll do all that shit. We do it once a year. We tried to do best of shows. I guarantee between the three of us, we couldn't even think about the thing that made us laugh as hard throughout the year. And I would vote everything that happens at Andrew's house while he tries to record the show makes me laugh and wants to do a spit take every time. So there's your teaser. Tuesday, I might even do it live, so keep an eye on our Facebook page. Maybe we'll even stream it live. We're going to break it up into 2 parts for the audio for sure. With all that said, let's talk about the news. I feel like I should have news. If, for the straight show, you would do news intro like da-da-da-da-da. Mauro, take us in. Thank you, Lee. Let's talk about the news. Hello, everybody. I'm Mauro Ranallo, the bipolar rock and roller, and Fight Net Radio is ready to talk about the news here on Showtime. Check out my special. It's getting better, I think, Miguel. I really do.
It is.
Amir Khan and Kell Brooks sell out in 10 minutes. I'm not going to read the story because I don't care.
What?
I'm just trying to figure out the no. I picture, you're not old enough, Miguel. Andrew is almost old enough. But for me, for sure, waking up at like 4 or 3 a.m. in the morning and going down to Music Plus to get in line to buy tickets. And somehow I mentally picture a bunch of English fuckers living in that gray, cold, whatever it is, lining up at some venue and waiting to buy tickets to sell out in 10 minutes. I know it's online. Everybody stop saying it mentally to me who's listening. But that's what I want to mentally envision. Bad teeth, chain smoking, tea drinking, English fucks making this a sellout. Like, this is almost criminal, in my opinion. Yeah, we couldn't have done a straight show. I start this time with you, Andrew Lapachet. Are you shocked that it sold out in 10 minutes?
Yes, actually I am. I didn't think this fight was gonna be that hot anymore because both guys are way past their prime. Literally, Kell Brook has had both of his eyes detached from his brain. But yet here we are with the sellout in 10 minutes. So hat off to Amir Khan and Kell Brook. I guess you guys did have it correct.
There you go. Miguel Antonio Barragan, are you shocked that pathetic... I'm saying it, and if you're an English fan listening to the show, I said it if you bought a ticket. Pathetic English fans are paying for this.
I want to know what exactly they sold out. Like, is it a high school gym or some shit? Because
yeah, right. All right.
I mean, because I don't know.
Let's see where they're
what
playing.
we're talking about here.
Oh no, it's Manchester.
Oh,
Arena.
Jesus Christ! Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. I don't know. I'm not sure if I believe.
50,000 seats, maybe.
I
feel like
crap,
I almost
really?
need to look up this stat fact.
I mean, are the UK fans so like thirsty for a fight like this that I mean, they can't get AJ and Fury, so they're like, well, I guess the closest second best are these two guys.
It's not at the O2, so Manchester holds roughly because you'll have the floor as well, right?
Yeah.
So what are you talking about? Capacity seat? Oh, there it is. 20,000. What is it? 21,000.
21K.
But
God
you got to
damn,
add
really?
you got to add
What?
floor to that. So they probably sold about 25,000 seats.
Wow. Yeah, I'm pretty floored. I didn't think they were going to do
These
that.
two guys, a guy named Special K, and a dude whose wife fucked around behind his back.
That doesn't make Amir Khan a bad fighter. The fact that he's been...
No, it just makes him pathetic as a human. But he's also... And, wait, Andrew, and he's a shitty fighter.
He's better than Kell Brook. Kell Brook, I just find the whole thing unbelievable, really. That's a lot of seats to sell out. I don't know. When did Kell Brook get this popular? Like, I remember he was big. He had his moment, but it was so brief, you guys. Like, he loses a title right away. He gets put in the hospital right against, or no, matter of fact, he gets destroyed by Triple G. Then he comes back and gets destroyed by Spence, correct?
Yeah, I want to say he was still IBF champ when he moved up to middleweight, yeah.
Yes, they let him keep his title. He comes back, he loses again. But and then that's really it for him. His eye is disconnected. His other eye, left, right, they both were. I forget which one.
Maybe he's going for a set.
I'm just saying, when did he become this popular? Where him, 5 years later or whatever, from his last injured fight, big fight, that his fans would want to come and see this. Hey, I don't know. They have a history that obviously we don't know about, you guys. I don't know. Maybe you guys have been throwing down over there. Wow. I know they have a social media history, but I don't know. Did they ever see each other in public where something happened?
Nothing. They're English. They're both, in Special K's case, I can't think of anything eventful about him that we've ever talked about other than losing. His 3 losses are rather substantial. And in the case of King Khan, other than his wife whoring about behind his back and it all being very public, no. No, and I think it's all, if you want my opinion from a marketing standpoint, it's because Amir Khan's wife is a whore. Or he has a small dick, whichever you prefer. I like them both in the story. No? No love for that?
I mean, I kind of feel like what Andrew was saying, right? Like Amir Khan is better. I feel like he's done more, right? He's been around longer, or at least he's been in the spotlight a lot longer. I mean, I can see why he will still attract people. You know, him moving up to middleweight to fight Canelo and get knocked the fuck out. Like, even though he lost and got knocked the fuck out, he got a lot of respect from a lot of other fans and a lot of other fighters. So I can see why he might still sell tickets, but I'm still stunned on what Andrew was saying. Like, how the hell, where did Kell Brook become popular all of a sudden?
Because he's not.
It has to. We're not. Hey, Lee, let's do a ticket price check. We're missing something. We are missing something here.
Something seems a little fishy, yeah.
Yeah. 10 minutes, 25,000 seats for these guys.
Brooks tickets. Let's see. They're available at Vivid. Okay. So is this where you get them, I guess? A decade-long. Boy, they sell it in the headline, don't they? The decade-long rivalry. Mauro, why don't you do it? The decade-long rivalry between Amir Khan and Kell Brooks explodes on February 19th at the Manchester Arena. Following years of heated exchanges between the two, thousands of fans will pack into the arena. How'd I do?
That was pretty good. I like it.
Better. I really do. Yeah. I'm liking him for the new year, right? I don't see anything about tickets, bro. I don't see a damn thing. I really don't.
Well, click on one of the links. It doesn't take you any one of these?
Buy tickets. All right. Wow. All right. Let's see. And Vivid, that's there, the AO Arena. All right. I'm going directly to the Arena website. I'm going to get tickets right here. Okay, cool. It's Ticketmaster. Apparently, Ticketmaster. There are tickets available, by the way.
All right. Those are pounds. What's
well, yeah, they're not expensive. I mean, by and large, okay, I accept. Thank you. I mean, 300 pounds is what, $500 plus or minus? I don't know what the pound to dollar rate is, but
I'm pulling it up right now.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll buy a pair on the corner for us. We'll be flying out, Miguel.
So,
right. So it's 565 pounds a ticket to sit ring center.
That's about $750.
That's not bad for that seat. I mean, it would be way more in Vegas, and a floor seat is $1,300, 1,300 pounds.
Oh, pounds.
And that would equate to what?
$1,700.
It's still cheaper than Vegas.
I agree with you. If they bought a ticket to this fight, the joke's on you, man. You get what you pay for. You know what?
I'm guessing it was on Groupon. I want to say like it had to be on Groupon or something, right?
Amir Khan's speed, if he still has the speed that he once possessed, he's going to be too fast for the blind man. The guy couldn't duck Terrence Crawford's shots in his last fight. Didn't they save him? It was a mercy stoppage in the last one, wasn't it? Like, just this is the same thing. No, they get what they pay for with Kell Brooks. This is a joke of a fight, though. Yeah, whatever. Yep,
it is a joke of a fight. It's 12 rounds of guys trying not to get hit.
It was a mercy stoppage last time. Terrence Crawford was too fast for him, and the guy's blind. Lee, he had both eyes detached retinas. You never get 100% vision back. What is he going to do with Amir Khan's speed?
Amir's older now, right? So who
Yeah.
knows?
He's never really been a knockout power. He's never really been a knockout type of puncher. But I mean, he will like slap Kell Brook to death.
What is the?
It was a
point of
mercy
this
stoppage
fight?
because he couldn't see the punches. He couldn't see the punches, so he was getting slapped right in his face, and the ref it was too much. They're going to do that again. Trust me, they're going to do that again.
All right. So my question is,
and Kell Brook quit twice, right? He quit twice on his stool, right, in both fights.
Yeah, I don't know about the Crawford one, but I think the The Spence, yeah.
Spence and Triple G.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yep. I think he retired both. Yeah, no, that's why I never wanted to fight. I never wanted to watch Kell Brook again. After he quit the second time, I was done with him. And that's, no knock on him. I'm not trying to be, sound like that guy. I just don't like to spend money on fighters that, sit on the corner and refuse to come out. So I remember giving up on him then. I won't be watching this fight. Amir Khan will knock him out in 6 rounds.
You will. You're lying. You'll watch it. You will. And you know why? Because I guarantee that Suleiman will create a belt. What's the translation for dumbass white guy, Miguel? Is there like a single word that encapsulates that?
Well, I mean, the common word that's used for whites is gringos, Americans. Gringos.
Gringos English?
I don't think it works.
It doesn't work. You got to work on that by the. We'll come up with some belt titles for the year-end show. Because I guarantee there's a WBC belt waiting to be made with British flags all over it.
Yep.
Stay tuned. By the way, for everybody watching the video, yes, I'm wearing a tank top in honor of Pat McAfee signing a huge multi-million-dollar deal. And if that gets our show a great deal for me wearing a tank top, I'm prepared to do it. Just saying it out loud. Conor Benn, if Broner fight doesn't happen... Yeah, well, I don't even know where to begin with that sentence. Would love to fight Danny Garcia. By the way, that's a whole thing to talk about. Or Mikey Garcia. Let's just take these in order on craziness. Okay? Forget that Eddie Hearn is talking about his fighter fighting PBC guys. Let's just play fantasy land here for a minute.
No,
and
Tommy
let's just
Hearn.
take these in order. Conor Benn versus Adrian, I'm now in a lockdown institutional fucking I'm crazy Broner. I'll start with you, Miguel. First of all, the possibility of those two fighting. Second, Broner ever fighting again, period.
I mean, I anticipate Broner fighting again. I mean, the guy, it doesn't matter what he says because he recently tweeted something about him making millions of dollars for the last 10 years and he's not broke and all this shit, right? Basically bullshitting when he had $13 or $18 in court or something. It doesn't matter what the hell that motherfucker says on his social media. He's broke as hell. He is broke as fuck. So I definitely think that we're going to see him in the ring. I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out, to be against Conor Benn. But, I mean, I don't know. I kind of feel like he's going to end up, overpricing himself and then, pretty much losing out on the fight. So I don't think it's going to be Broner against Benn. However, I do think Broner will come back to the ring eventually against someone else other than Conor. Now, Danny Garcia, last I heard, Danny was trying to move up to 154. He was interested in fighting one of the Charlos, I believe. I think that was the last I recall, so I'm not sure if he's going to even still be, if fighting somebody like Conor Benn, who's on the way up, is worth staying at 147 for him. Mikey Garcia is a bad fucking idea for Mikey Garcia. It's like, dude, just stop at 147, please, for fuck's sake. Just go back down to 140 where you naturally belong, and enough of this stuff. But, I mean, these guys, I guess, the best I guess I can put here is, or the best opponent, I would say, as far as recognition and still sort of kind of top guy is Danny Garcia. I just don't think either one of these opponents is going to happen.
Andrew.
For a while, we've been speculating that DAZN and PBC were going to come out in some kind of partnership. This is just another thing pointing in that direction. What is Conor Benn's deal with all these PBC guys? He fought Samuel Vargas too not too long ago, and that guy used to fight on the PBC a lot. It's just, there's some weird connection going on there. I give a flying fuck about any of these guys fighting. Conor Benn's on the way up. He wants to fight Danny Garcia, possibly. When's the last time Danny actually won a fight? I know we like to say the fights are close and he's exciting and all that, but when's his real last huge win? Same goes for Mikey. These guys really aren't stepping stones for Conor Benn.
it comes down to money, you guys. If they want to pay, look, those aren't pay-per-view fights, so you're not going to see them on PBC. They don't make enough money to put them on Fox. It's going to be what DAZN wants to pay them if they want to pay for them. But I don't see people staying home for Conor Benn versus Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia, to me, he's running on fumes right now.
He's coming out real fast. Yeah, I wanted to answer your question, Andrew. I think his last win, like over somebody somewhat significant, was like Lamont Peterson in like 2015. Because everybody other than that, Robert Guerrero, Paulie Malignaggi, Samuel Vargas, Brandon Rios, Adrian Granados, guys like that he's beat. Because everybody else is top notch. He's lost to.
Yeah. So
it had to be done.
Yeah, we needed it. So who would be? I guess Broner would be in the desperate, the most desperate for money.
Well, again, you're making that assumption of living in a fantasy land where Hearn and PBC get along and make fights. I don't even know how many fights they've actually made interpromotionally. The coolest quote I saw was the Spence Crawford thing was heating up again, and somebody said, "All right, people, since the PBC started, there have been 31 fights between Top Rank and PBC fighters. 27 of those fights have been won by Top Rank." I don't know what the stats are between PBC and Matchroom, but I'm going to guess it's the same lopsided outcome. Like, PBC guys don't win outside of the PBC, and I'm sure that they're aware that they don't win outside of the PBC.
And he is 20-0 now. We've seen guys in the lightweights make moves without 20 wins. Cambosos I think he was at 19-0 when he made his move.
Are you eating the microphone?
Huh?
There we go. Whatever you were doing before with the mic, now it's good.
So I don't, what do we need to build up for? He's 20-13. He's had 2 impressive wins. I don't know. I don't know why we're looking
so. You beat a vitamin salesman. I mean, is it impressive?
I mean, the way he did it, I'd say so. I mean, he didn't just, beat him for 10 rounds or whatever. Like he knocked him out. He did what he needed to do and took him out. And I think that was pretty impressive. Yeah.
Well, mainly because he did what most fighters in that same spot don't do. Oh, I was playing it safe and blah, blah, blah. And whatever, dude. Go in there and handle your scandal and get it over with. He's a vitamin salesman. He did it. You can't fault the dude. He's got a good attitude. Wants to fight everybody on the planet. He's nuts. I like it. I think he could be a big star, but the division is run by the PBC, so he's trying to chip his way in, so why not talk about fighting everyone in that division for giggles?
I think it's now PBC is run by runs the welterweights. Mikey Garcia, I guess that would be a big improvement for him. He's ranked number 5, and he has 2 out of 3 losses in his last 3 fights.
Ranked 5 at welterweight? Is that what they have him as?
Still ranked number 5 at welterweight on Boxing Rec.
Oh, Jesus
so I guess
Christ.
that would be a huge jump for Conor Benn. I don't even consider Garcia top 10 at welterweight. He looks fat every time I see him.
And he's coming off a loss. He just fucking lost. So, I mean, I suppose, Danny Garcia is as well. Damn, everybody is. Jesus Christ, everybody on that list are coming off a loss.
Moving forward. Lomachenko-Comey fight drew a peak audience of 1.2 million people and averaged about 1.1 on ESPN. All right, here's what I think's happening. I think everybody's just going to put a million in front of what the actual number is from here on out. Since nobody's calling bullshit on the PBC for their last activity of Showtime, Steven Espinosa and his whole, we don't release those numbers. Well, you're the first guy in boxing history not to release his numbers, okay? The first question you ask in the room when you've got somebody from HBO or anything is, how do you think it did and how many do you think you sold, right? And that was based on the old format of pay-per-view where you'd almost have to wait 24 hours to see everybody who purchased. Now everything's streaming, and you know the number, jerk-off, Espinosa, and your messed-up calculator. Are you actually, I'll start with you, Andrew. Do you believe the numbers this time?
Yeah, it's ESPN. We don't know what was played in front of it. Lomachenko is a household name from HBO, so yes, Lee, I do believe he pulls in those type of ratings for free television.
Miggs.
Yeah, I mean, we can. How can I explain it? Sometimes when the numbers are not good, they try to hide them. That's kind of like
Are you going to try to mansplain?
I'm not going to try to explain. Well, it doesn't make sense to try to mansplain to other men. It's only when I do it to women that's when it's considered mansplaining.
I understand. Actually, yes, it's still mansplaining to other men. I think, in my opinion.
When they give out the numbers, you want to give them the benefit of the doubt, of course. When the numbers are shitty, the chances are they won't tell you. They try to keep it under wraps. The fact that it was on ESPN, it is a channel that basically everybody has. It was on ESPN Plus as well. I have a subscription to that. It's the kind of channel that everybody has, and there's nothing else on. Of course, they're going to watch it. But yeah, this seems pretty reasonable. Yeah, I don't think they're fudging up the numbers or anything.
All right. Well, congratulations to them for that fight. Moving forward, Benavidez versus Lemieux is ordered for an interim WBC bullshit title. I'll start with you, Miguel, because you're the one who'll say anything's a good scrap. Benavidez Lemieux, is it a good scrap?
It is. I mean, and I don't mean it in the sense that it's going to be an even close fight. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it's going to be one-sided for Benavidez. But Lemieux is the kind of dude that goes in there and knocks the person out or gets knocked out. So he's going to go in there, to throw down with Benavidez, and Benavidez better be fucking careful because Lemieux's got that left. He throws it, with reckless abandon. So he's gonna go in there. I don't know how many more shots Lemieux has at big names. He's going to end up being basically he is in this case already an opponent, but he's going to go in there with really nothing to lose. So I wouldn't be surprised if he goes in there completely, swinging for the fences, and Benavidez is going to have to answer somehow. So yeah, I anticipate this fight being a pretty good scrap. I do think it's going to be a good fight. I don't see Lemieux winning. I don't honestly, but it's going to be fun for as long as it lasts.
All right, Andrew, Mario Lemieux, David Benavidez. Can the Hockey Hall of Famer? Do you even care?
Lemieux, he's a power puncher. David Benavidez is face-forward fighter. So yeah, I agree with Miguel. I think it's gonna be a decent fight as long as it lasts. I expect David Benavidez's age and power to pull through at the end, but who knows? It will be fun to watch.
All right. What are you doing with the laptop, the tablet this time? Your finger rolls over the microphone.
That's probably what I'm doing. The fuck's the mic?
All right, it's fine. You're good now. It's fun. And if I edited shows, I'd take that out, but I love the realism. Eddie Hearn believes Canelo would entertain a Usyk fight at cruiserweight, but wants him to target titles at 175. Where do I even begin? We've started the talks, and this guy hasn't even fought at cruiserweight yet, and Eddie Hearn's already licking his chops at the possibility of a $100 million fight with Usyk. All right, let's talk about it. We'll start with you this time, Andrew. Is Eddie just getting a hard-on way too early?
You're absolutely right, Lee. If you look at the picture, you can see he's actually bending his legs inwards to hide the boner he's getting every time he says Usyk versus Canelo.
He's regretting wearing pants that tight.
He gets a piece of both sides. Good gush. Clean that off. It won't stain if you get it immediately.
Look at his face. He's literally saying cold water, cold water, cold water.
Yeah.
Wow, think about sports. Miguel, is it? Do you agree with the hard-on for this fight and getting both ends of the deal?
Yes. Just look at the smile on his face. That's exactly the kind of smile you get. Like, when you're young and you're like, oh shit, let me try to hide this boner here. That's pretty much what he's trying to do. He's like looking down. He's like, yeah, don't look over here, please.
Puff. Keith Thurman returns to boxing on February 5th, headlining a Fox pay-per-view headliner. How far have you fallen, PBC, that you've actually dragged this motherfucker back into the ring? I won't start with Andrew because it'll just piss him off to talk about Thurman. So let's start with Miguel. Okay, Keith Thurman? Against nobody, by the way. The headliner will be Keith Thurman against a nobody.
Well, I mean,
you're going to tell me that Barrios is a good fight?
I mean, no. Well, I mean, it's Barrios. Well, first off, what is this going to be? A welterweight? Is it going to be right? That's because when his last fight, Barrios, I mean, with Gervonta, that was at 140, if I'm not mistaken. So I guess it's going to move up to.
They're not.
Yeah, they are. No, not yet. Okay.
Not yet.
Well, because I mean, I don't know how many losses. I don't remember Barrios' record leading up to that fight with Gervonta. But I mean, Barrios not a bad fighter. You know, he really isn't that bad of a fighter. I don't know about him being at 147. And I mean, I think he's got a legitimate shot at beating Keith Thurman. I mean, I don't know how long. I don't right off the top of my head. I don't know how long it's been since Keith's been in the ring. Wasn't the Manny Pacquiao fight, was it? Like there had to have been another one. I don't know, but he's been out of the ring for a good minute. And
2.5 years.
Barrios. There you go. See, and then Barrios, of course, been more active. This is probably not that good of a fight. I mean, I applaud Thurman for going into the fight with someone like this, but it seems, I mean, you can tell, right? I mean, Barrios is a 140 dude. It's like, all right, let me get a small guy moving up, kind of sort of the way he did with Josecito, and we saw with that fight, right? He got the spooked there, almost knocked the fuck out against Josecito Lopez. So he's got to come in this fight prepared against Barrios, otherwise it's going to happen to him again. I think Barrios got a pretty good shot.
All right, Andrew. Feel free to crap about.
Yeah, I don't want to listen. Barrios has a chance because of the inactivity. I agree to that. Skill-wise, though, Keith Thurman is better than Barrios. He has a better resume than Barrios. He's bigger. He has a stronger punch. He should win this fight easy. He's done if he can't, because Barrios has done nothing. It's really just his last name that's getting him these fights, you guys. And we really got to watch out when we're talking PBC. And I'm going to bring this up again, I know, later. But when we're talking about PBC fighters, we really need to watch out when we talk about records, because their records are all, bullshit fights, man. Like Barrios is, look up at these 28-0. What's his record? 28-1, 26-1. But if you actually look at his opponents, they're bullshit. Everyone on his record's bullshit. There's no one there that you go, oh, man, this guy deserves a shot at the elite right away, or gets a shot at Davis on pay-per-view. What the fuck gave him the reason to put him on pay-per-view as a main event, besides his last name was Barrios? You threw a little Aztec stuff on him, put a Mexican flag behind him, and hope Mexicans buy in. That's why they're doing this. It's the same reason why Al Heyman had Mikey Garcia move up, look fat as fuck, throw a Mexican flag behind him, put on some mariachi music, and hope we buy in. These aren't Mexican. These fighters, they didn't earn the respect of the fan base that's going to make them drop their money to pay for this. This fight's a bust. Keith Thurman should win. Barrios, I don't even know who the fuck he is. He's probably going to get knocked out, and that's it. That's all. It's a PBC bullshit fight. That's all I got.
Hold on.
And pay-per-view on top of that, too.
And, yeah. Well, and Miguel, that's why they're putting all the, he's grabbing Mexicans and putting them on pay-per-view. We're the ones who buy the fights. Come on, we know that. We're the ones who drop the money and buy the. When you get a good Mexican on the other side of that ring, your pay-per-view event can do really good. That's what Al Heyman's gunning for. We all know it. Now everybody knows it. Now everybody's talking about it. These are all bullshit matchups. They're not fighting the people we want to see. And their records are just, we really got to watch when we're talking about records, because they're pointless when you're talking about the PBC. All these guys fought the same losers.
Yeah, other PBC guys, basically.
I had premature ejaculation of the horn before that. I was thinking about Usyk versus Canelo.
I'm going to give you a stat that I text you guys. We seen it put out this week. 23 times the PBC and Top Rank have been matched up against each other. 23.
And they've won 21 what is it, 19?
I thought it was 19. I think it's 19 Top Rank is won.
Yeah. And I'll keep saying it. How many has Matchroom done that? As Golden Boy? Like, I'd like to know the matchups across the board at this point.
I'd like to know which 3 they won, actually.
Good question. I don't even know how that's tracked. I mean, that's some really bored legwork by... And by the way, it was just a dude on Twitter who did the work. Good for him. I mean, yay, super fans. I'm sure that our producer, Sam Navajero, is probably, as he listens to this, typing in those stats to us because he probably knows them. Good for you, Sam.
In my 20s, Miguel, I would stay up all night on Box Rec and argue a little bit more, but never sleep. It was just stay up and fucking look up records.
Damn, cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Yeah, damn right.
Hey, Spence Ugas title unification is officially in play. Whatever. Like,
hey, go ask.
Speaking of which,
go ask Chavez. Yee! Anyone see him snorting coke during the fight?
Yeah, we'll get to it. Don't jump ahead. That's premature. That's premature party horn. He did everything we could ask out of Chavez in one fight, from snorting blow in the corner to looking like he is about to pass out early in the fight in the corner. Like, he did everything fantastic. But hold your horses. We'll get to Chavez.
Now we know. All right.
Can we talk about how they're trying to turn Spence Ugas into a real fight? I won't ask you, Andrew, because it'll just turn into a 20-minute tirade that you just covered a second ago. Miguel, is it scrappable?
No, I don't think so. I mean, this is pretty much what we had said was going to happen after Ugas got the belt off of Manny. They're just going to turn it right around. He's going to hand it to Spence, and this is exactly playing out the way we predicted.
What a shocker. All right, now, Andrew, you can do your whole thing about Fight Net Radio predicting everything again and the world playing out, and PBC sucks dick, which it does.
No. They're calling Spence out right now. You know, he's getting eaten alive every time he throws a tweet out right now. Let me get this. I have some for you guys because I saved them. They were so funny. Spence has been getting eaten alive, though. There's no one really. He put one. This is December 19th. Ain't nothing but a little bit of straightening. The first response, Spence, the big fish, ? Smelling more like the big tuna. Take them period panties off, nigga, and fight the real king at 147. Okay, that's one. Spence, December 19th. I'm doing all the heavy lifting. First response.
What the fuck was that?
Avoiding Crawford. We see you. Second one. Fighting Bud would be real heavy lifting. Third one. Cut it out, Slim. You only fighting jokers that you previous opponents already beat. So you beat Ugas. Who are you going to fight next? Mike Dallas or Abel Ramos? And just laughing. They're calling him out. Everybody's calling him out.
Yeah, they are.
Ugas is a cool fighter, but this is not the fight people want to see. Ugas is cool after Terrence Crawford. You know, and that's what the PBC has always given us. That's what Al Heyman's always given us. He gives us the fight that we don't want to see, and he gives us the real one after the fact. And that's what they're waiting for with Crawford. They're waiting for Crawford to turn 34. They know he's old. You don't think they're sitting there, they're staring at every fucking performance he has and judging where he's at on the time frame? This is the Floyd Mayweather fucking playbook. Floyd fought all of his guys past their age. I know someone's screaming Canelo right now. Fuck, I know someone's screaming Canelo right now. It's the only one they have. They love that fight. They love the Saul Alvarez fight. But Sugar Shane Mosley, Zab Judah, Oscar De La Hoya, fucking Miguel Cotto, they're all after when the people wanted to see them. And you know what's really funny? Back that time, people used to say Floyd versus Paul Williams. Oh, it can't be done, man. They're from the boat stable. Now, fast forward to this era, now they can fight because they're on the same side of the street. Well, why couldn't Paul Williams fight Floyd Mayweather? They're on the same side of the street. Oh.
Solid outing, Andrew. Solid outing. You did not disappoint. Moving forward. Bob Arum warns that Fury might fight someone else while White and the WBC. We were talking about this during the week, and I love it. But since Bob has been so kind to give us his own direct words, he talked to Sport. And we actually have some actual clips of Bob talking specifically about that. So first, let's hear from Bob about the fight.
Shut the fuck up, you little prick.
Okay. Well, there you go.
I'm gonna guess that was Dillian White saying like, "Hey, can you let Tyson Fury fight me?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Asking for permission.
Listen, if we can't get a deal done with Dillian White, which nobody can seem to get the deal done with Dillian White, because for some reason, Tommy Hearns doesn't want him to fight because he sweeps really good in the backyard. We'll do a fight for the Ring Magazine belt and the lineal title, and we'll make something up. Frank.
Hey, they're even talking the belt all together.
Yeah, no, that's the best part of Bob. Frank and I are determined to come up with an opponent that is acceptable, that probably isn't too difficult. Let's be perfectly honest. It won't be too hard for him. Maybe Andy Ruiz or something in Cardiff. I don't know. Hey, what about Derek Chisora? He lost to Joseph Parker. That'd be a fun fight. He'll knock that fucking guy right out. We're giving the fans a fight they want to see. So we talked about this earlier in the week. Fuck. If he didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck. If he's not getting screwed by his promoter, again, year after year, Dillian White continues to be the most greased up, fucked fighter ever to carry a WBC #1 ranking in the history. It's up there with Maravilla. Like, seriously, they could make a Netflix documentary about Dillian White never getting a shot at the WBC title and the WBC constantly co-signing not letting him have a shot at the title. At least in the case of Maravilla, they did that awesome documentary so he had some kind of street cred. But fuck my life, man. If I was Dillian White, how did you not blow your fucking head off? Kudos to you, bro. Kudos.
And how sad. Remember, Miguel, when you asked Eddie Hearn about getting some step-aside money for this man?
Yeah.
Can't you just get him some step-aside money and let him go? Just let him you won't get a title shot, but here's $3 million.
Here you go, bro. Here's something. If he had... I'm going to safely say this. It's going to be a controversial statement. What else is new with my statements? If he had a nickel for every fight that he should have had for the title, he'd have more money than he actually makes in the fight that he's currently in. I'm pretty sure based on the math.
Yeah, Miguel makes more money for Dillian White off the WC than Eddie Hearn has. I mean, fucking joke. Seriously. If you can't get him a fight, get him at least some money and let him go fight for another title, go do something else.
That's my question. It's like, is he not ranked with any other fighting? Can he get himself like a belt elsewhere? So, I mean, does that really have to be? I mean, I know he's been the mandatory for like 10 years.
Sergio didn't have to go years in his battle, right? With Suleiman and Chavez.
But they tried like stripping him of the belt, and then they handed it off to Chavez and shit like that. Then he was mandatory for a good minute, but still nowhere near as long as.
No, it's not like this at all. Like, this is legendary shit. This is, dude, you need a documentary. This is fantastic. I mean,
there's like carrot on a stick type of shit for years.
Years. Oh my God. This is how.
And what legal battles is he talking about?
Whatever they made up this week, because it's not.
It's the percentage, you guys. What we talked about,
80,
I know.
20, they're talking an 80-20. They only want to offer 80-20 because you got to pay Tyson Fury a shit ton of money to get him to fight now.
Damn.
That's right.
And let's all say it. He is the A side of the contract. Yeah. I'm sorry, Eddie. You're only going to make $12 on the fight. Let the fucking kid fight. Jesus Christ. What a fuck show that is. How do you not want to, like, end your contract with Tommy Hearns? I mean, fuck me. What a...
The best thing Eddie Hearn's doing right now is going to other people's biddings, or what do they call the bid?
And we're going to talk about it. There are a couple of fights where he's like in the mix, just outbidding people and stealing fights.
The purse bid.
But he can't do shit with his own fighters. His own fight. Look at Boo Boo. Fuck
Boo Boo. Funny you make that segue. Boo Boo is set for bid on January 14th. First of all, how are we still talking about fucking Boo Boo? And he's fighting Jablik, whatever. Right?
What the hell? Who the fuck?
Jablik Jabroni. He's not fighting anybody. Oh, nobody wants to face me. Nobody cares. Nobody cares, boo-boo. Nobody.
Okay, I just pulled up this dude's record. He's undefeated, but he's got 11 fights.
Android. What is up with you, bro? Look, and it's an 80-20 split again. Yeah, nobody wants to fight you. You're not an 80% fighter. Does he have a belt I'm unaware of? Is he...
Well, yeah, he's the WBO.
WBO, right?
There it is. Yeah.
Okay. WBO gets you an 80-20 split with Jabroni? Bro, how do you expect to sell tickets to this fight? I mean, seriously. Why do you think it's up for purse bid? That's because Eddie Hearn and Bob Arum don't give two flying dicks about this fight. Even they know it. You're going to wind up with, like, what is it, TGB, taking care of boxing, or one of these little subcategories of... And you're going to pray that Eddie and Tom and Bob want to put their name on the fight. But nobody cares. Nobody cares about this fight. Nobody. And Bob owns the WBO. Nobody cares.
DAZN thought they were getting a gold mine when they bought Eddie Hearn's Anthony Joshua's contract, when they brought them two guys on. Unfortunately, Anthony Joshua wasn't as good as everyone thought he was, and now he's starting to lose. And Eddie Hearn, just as a promoter himself, really hasn't done shit for his fighters. The Canelo thing's kind of a disaster for DAZN, right? They're not really making a lot of money off Canelo. He's in the prime of his career. Yeah, that was great what he did at super middleweights. Just seems like there's other fights that could be making more money for them. Triple G, they overpaid. They haven't made a dime on Triple G. And Joshua,
I don't even think he's fought since he's had the contract.
Right?
One fight.
No, it's been bad with Eddie. So yeah, I don't really have confidence in DAZN.
Now. He has a new girlfriend. Joshua died in a car accident, and now he's got Canelo. His new boo-boo.
We all thought getting so many outlets was going to bring boxing to a new platform, when it really didn't. It watered it down. We need it back to a more controlled atmosphere where one network is controlling all of the promoters. I'm hoping ESPN will get a fighter that I was hoping it would be Terrence Crawford, but who knows? Even though we're going to talk about it, looks like Terrence still isn't totally in the Al Heyman stable yet. They need a fighter that they can see.
There's actually no official word. That's why we don't have a story on it, Andrew. But if you want to bring it up right here, it's cool with me. Because they don't. They don't have a deal. Nobody's playing ball with people who don't make money. That's why Boo Boo's up for purse bid. Nobody's paying cash for this shit. Like,
you hit it right on the head. That's right, Lee. When you look at what the PBC platform is now, it's pay-per-view. And what has Top Rank told time and time again about Terrence Crawford? Not a pay-per-view star.
Guy. Yep. He doesn't sell tickets.
Nothing Al Heyman can do with him right now. He missed that boat. They missed it. That $750 million, that was 5 years ago. He should have got on the train if he wanted to get paid by Al then. Now, you got to make your money again. You got to go out there and you got to sell tickets. Now we're starting to see that's all of those undefeated records that he had, all of those Floyd Mayweather prospects that he had, they all lined up waiting to be the next Floyd. We're seeing what he really made out of all these guys and who's a household name.
Well, no, the most shocking part is Gervonta's their biggest talent. That's what you're telling me out of this pile of piss?
According to them, yeah.
He's the biggest talent as far as a prospect, yes. Spence was, but I think Spence, because of the car accident, he has fallen out of that category. Deontay Wilder's the most successful. Deontay Wilder, him and Tyson Fury, what they were able to do together in the 3 fights and the ones in between, he generated the most money out of the PBC guys. So he has been successful. But what the PBC needs to understand is Deontay had to leave the stable to make that money. He didn't make it with Al. He had to leave Al Heyman and not leave him physically, or he was still got a contract with them, but he had to leave the PBC platform, walk over to ESPN and make him fight with Tyson Fury, who fights with Top Rank. They all have to do that. Charlos, They should be fucking rich. They all should have fought in Triple G and Canelo by now. Both of the brothers should have fought in either one of those guys by now. Spence should have fought Terrence Crawford. Mikey Garcia should have fought Terrence Crawford already. Pacquiao should have fought him. Like, there's been a lot of fights that haven't been made because of their side. They're the ones that wanted to stay on the same side of the street for some reason. And now they're, we're all into their 30s now.
And I kind of feel like they've already like capped with Spence. Like they've maxed them out. Like that's it. Like they don't want to cross the street to go. Well, I guess prior to Crawford leaving or his contract ending with with Top Rank. But like that's kind of it. Like that's kind of what they're doing right now with Gervonta. They're like trying to max him out. Anything that doesn't involve taking that risk of crossing the street to the other promoter, anything that'll happen, that it's like, all right, let's do whatever we can. They basically did this with Spence. They built him up because the PBC basically had a monopoly with the welterweights, right, for a good minute. So it's just like, all right, fighting each other. He's the one that ends up being the best, right? That's kind of what they ended up him unifying a couple of belts. So it's like, all right, this is the best we can do. This is you've capped. We've reached the max with you. You've peaked. We can't go any further because we're not willing to go across the street. And that's pretty much what they're doing with Gervonta. But now they haven't got that cap yet, right? They haven't reached that cap or that peak with Gervonta. So they're still putting him up against other PBC dudes, trying to maximize it as much as he possibly can. Somehow, some way, get himself a title or two, and then be like, all right, then they're gonna eventually max him out and then go on to the next dude without having to cross the street again.
And let me tell you, Lee, let me finish off why I think Terrence Crawford and Al Heyman might not get done. This week, Terrence Crawford tweeted out, I already told Josh Taylor I'd whoop his ass or I'd beat his ass. So there's a connection. He's calling out a top-ranked guy. Mm-hmm. That's a huge fight. We talked, everyone knows this. Taylor Crawford is a huge moneymaker for Josh Taylor over there in the UK. They'll sell out. They won't just sell out Wembley. What's the 80,000, the one Klitschko and Joshua did?
Shit.
Where'd Lee go? He left.
I'm here.
He always knows that.
I'm still here.
Over there. The big one. The big arena. Is it O2 or is that the one you guys just looked up?
No, it's not O2. We just
Wembley.
saw O2, wasn't it?
Wembley.
Then it's Wembley.
Okay.
Then it's Wembley. They can fill that place up. Listen, the UK fighters love seeing Americans talent. They love fighting Americans. They know the American boxer is the best. It's known. You take Terrence Crawford over there to fight Josh Taylor right now, who's probably the hottest fighter out there. This thing is huge. It's way bigger than Spence and Crawford right now. Let Crawford go and fight Ugas. I think he goes after Josh Taylor. We'll see how that fight turns out. And then it's really the only out Terrence Crawford has, because I'm telling you, if he allows Spence to beat Ugas and take that title, Spence will have, 3 of the titles in the welterweight division?
Yeah, WBC, IBF, and WBA, yeah.
Yeah, who's Crawford going to fight to match that? And so and then he's 34, he's got no promoter behind him. They'll fucking run him at the negotiating table. Al Heyman don't give a damn about a 34-year-old Terrence Crawford when he's got Spence under contract. So Crawford really probably does have to look at ESPN and Bob Arum again. Maybe a one-time deal, like Bob said. They're not trying to waste money, but we'll make money with them. We'll do a one fight. And that will be with Josh Taylor. If they both win, then they try to meet up again at the negotiating. Because I believe Taylor is moving up to welterweights if he fights Crawford. They will not be at junior welterweight.
Oh, yeah. There's
Shut the
way.
fuck up,
sure
you
he
little
can
prick.
make 140, but why? He's the one. I mean, yes, granted, it's, Josh Taylor is the one that's got, the belts, right, at 140. He's the unified, undisputed champ. He's a lineal champ, whatever. But no, for the money, he's going to move up to 147. There's no fucking way Crawford goes back down.
There you go.
And it would be the first time in a 4-belt era that 2 undefeated champions face off. This fight is huge. They could sell this thing in the UK. It'd be the biggest fight they ever hold over there. Seriously. Heavyweights, all of that. This would be the hugest fight they could hold it over there. And I think Crawford really needs it to go back to Al Heyman and Spence with.
There you go. That, first and foremost, go check us out on social media. Check out boxingtonight.io Follow me, Miguel, Andrew, on all the different forums and platforms. With all that commercial out of the way, we are into the fights of this past weekend, and we have a few to talk about, so let's talk about them. Let's start off with Oscar's current girlfriend, Zuro. Let's cue the Oscar music for that. Hold on. I'll get it right. Have I got it right, Miguel?
Oh, yeah.
It's an Oscar fight now with Zuro. Gilbert Ramirez stops. Gutsy? Really? Are we overselling Gonzalez here? It was, I guess, a slugfest. I watched it. It started slow. Then it got interesting. And then Zuro ended it. I mean, that's all there is to Ramirez in that fight. They clearly saw a different fight than I did, and I was watching it pretty intensely while I was waiting for a poker table. But by and large, I was rather bored with the bulk of this fight. I'll start with you, Miguel. Did you enjoy it with the gutsy Gonzalez? Gutsy.
Yes.
Exciting, man. Get off the knob, man. Gutsy, that's your idea of gutsy getting hit in the 10th round?
I mean, it was gutsy. It was. He was taking an ass whooping. He wasn't willing to go down. He could have taken a knee a couple of times. I forgot what round it was, but it really looked like Ramirez just like emptied the tank. He just emptied the clip, emptied the magazine, and threw everything, and wasn't able to take him out. I don't know how the fuck Gonzalez was still on his feet after some of those rounds. I was like, holy shit. So yes, I gotta say, definitely gutsy. The guy went in there and took an ass whooping like a man, and didn't go down. I mean, well, he did go down, but it was just like, it was at that point he had to go down. He had no choice. So I absolutely enjoyed the fight. It was fun. It's quite the scrap. Yes, it was quite the scrap. Especially in the beginning, it almost seemed like Ramirez was a little, kind of like gun shy at first. He's like, all right, let me see if I can take this dude's pop kind of deal, right? And then after a couple of times he took a shot, he's like, oh shit, okay, it's a fight. It's a fight. Time to start throwing down. And a couple of times Ramirez would smile, right? And we know exactly what that means. It's like, oh shit, that punch landed cleanly. That was kind of a close one. Don't let that shit happen again. But in their head, they're thinking that, of course. But on the outside, they're trying to front and saying like, oh yeah, that wasn't that bad of a punch. But a couple of times he did that little smirk, right? But I enjoyed it. Man, that left hand of his just could not miss. He could not miss with that fucking left. Anytime he threw it, and from an uppercut or a hook or even straight, I mean, he didn't really like throw it straight too often. It was usually hooks. But man, he was. I mean, but he threw back for as much as
he took a beating. He took an ass beating.
He did, and he stayed on his feet for as long as he could, and he threw back for as much as he possibly could. So I definitely enjoyed the fight. I didn't think the fight was going to go the distance after the first few rounds. I started scoring it, and I'm just like, no, I'm not even going to keep the score because it doesn't look like Gonzalez is going to, go the full 10 rounds or 12 rounds. A couple of things. I kind of felt like maybe the referee could have stopped it a little bit earlier. Like there was a few times where it's just like, all right, dude, you can hop in there at any point here. You don't have to let the guy continue taking the ass whooping. And at the time that he decided to step in, I was like, I don't know if that was the best time to step in because it didn't look like he was that bad at that point. Yes, he was hurt, of course, not as hurt as the previous rounds, but maybe hurt even worse because, you get hurt and then you recover, then get hurt again. So maybe he was worse. But, I mean, you can tell as soon as the referee stepped in there, Gonzalez hugged him, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, come on, man. I could have kept going. But, I mean, he couldn't have, of course. He was still hurt. But nonetheless, I enjoyed the fight. Great win for Ramirez. It's good to see him in the ring, trying to get him, active and seeing him regularly. I could care less if he makes it to 51 or 52-0, whatever it is that Oscar is trying to do. It sounds like Lloyd is living rent-free in his mind with that record thing. He should drop that shit and stop saying that because it doesn't look good for Ramirez. Like that's the goal, not fighting other light heavyweight champs or unifying the division or doing something along those lines or a potential fight with Canelo or some shit. It's like, no, the prime, the objective of his career is to make sure that he makes it to 51 or 52 or whatever. That's just bullshit. But anyway, I enjoyed the fight. Great win for Ramirez, and it was very fun to watch.
All right, Andrew Lapachet. How do you feel about this fight?
I was almost nervous when Miguel didn't mention Canelo's name for almost 5 minutes while talking about that fight. What the fuck is going on with Ramirez Canelo? Why can't anyone in DAZN talk about Ramirez fight? Bivol? Who wants to see Bivol? Who is calling for Ramirez versus Bivol? Listen, Oscar There's something fishy going on with Oscar and Canelo. It's either he's in cahoots with Canelo about not getting him a hard fight like Ramirez, or he still thinks he's the guy. Oscar is still behind Oscar's mind. He's like, no, I'm going to make my comeback.
I don't know. I saw Oscar at the fight. He doesn't look good for anybody.
Why are we not talking about Gilberto Ramirez versus Saul Alvarez, the biggest fight that could be made for the Mexican fight fans? It's the biggest one. Both of these men are undefeated. Ramirez has proven it. He has 2 legit wins against light heavyweights. He's a former super middleweight champ. He's undefeated. He's got the De La Hoya title. Why wasn't
this
De La
is my
Hoya-
guess. Andrew, this is my guess. Having something that Canelo wants, which I would have to assume is a belt. You know what I'm saying? Like to get to somebody else, to Bivol or what's the other one? Gilberto ends up getting a belt if he beats Bivol, and then boom, then we have something. I think I have to assume that is probably what's going on. Is just that waiting for him to grab himself a belt at this division, and then Canelo's going to jump on him. I think that's the goal.
I'll agree with that. I'll take that. But I would have also started the ball rolling on the fight this weekend with him and Canelo. Canelo really doesn't have any options. This whole cruiserweight bullshit, whatever. That's a one-fight deal. He's going up to win a title. He's coming right back. Why wouldn't you start the ball? This is the guy that's going to beat him. We'll fight Bivol. Bivol's 19-0, and no one gives a fuck. Nobody cares about this guy. This isn't $1 million fight. It's not a pay-per-view fight. Ramirez, you know what belts I would have gave you? I'm not trying to sound douchey, but give him the people's champ then. You make the people demand this fight. The Mexican fight fans that keep saying they want to see Canelo fight someone besides a European, this is your guy. This is the one you want to see him fight. You want that Mexican style? You want the left hooks, the right hand, the in your face? This is your guy. What were they scared about? They didn't even want to talk about it. It was almost like it was a PBC top ranking. Oh, he fights Oscar and he fights for Eddie. We won't talk about it then. I don't get it, man. Ramirez, fucking joke. You're only going to be young once. And let me tell you, you know why I'm against Bivol, Miguel? I don't know if he beats him. This kid takes a lot of punches off his face. We've seen him get hurt. He got hurt this past Friday night. So it's not a guarantee he wins. Oh, Saul versus Ramirez is such a more entertaining fight than anything else. Abuke? Who the fuck? Who's that guy we're going to have to watch Canelo fight next? Come on.
That was racist. We have comments from Oscar De La Hoya. Let me share those right
now. You look at Frank Mir all tattooed up. He's about 100 pounds bigger than Cunningham, but the USSR is going to bring some bombs to the table.
Somebody went to the trouble of putting all the clips together on YouTube, and for bonus, for those listening to the audio, I'm going to put, somebody clipped out all the audios from Oscar's drunk night of commentary into one cohesive tape, and it's, I now use it as my go to sleep, okay? That's what I listen to at night when I'm, listen, USSR, he's going to take it. You're awesome, Oscar. You drop that affect you do when you're Mario. Oh, I've killed for somebody to put it all together, and they did it, and it's so good. It's so good. Oscar, you look like shit. You are crazier than a
and sound like shit too.
He does. I just think it. Mwah. Bravo. Moving forward, Amanda Serrano has gone up in weight, down in weight, up in weight, up in weight, down in weight, down in weight, to drop back down again in weight, to again destroy somebody else, to finally say, yeah, all right, I'll fight Katie Taylor. Why not? It's just another chick for me to fuck up, basically. I am all about Amanda Serrano. Now that I actually see how great she is, do we know of anybody who's gone up and down in weight classes, defend titles at multiple positions? Like, she hasn't dropped the title at any weight. I think the 2 divisions above her and below her, or however that works, Miguel, I could be wrong. Like, she's defending like 3 different weight classes at this moment.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like we have to take in consideration that
there are no women to fight.
There are no women to fight. I mean, that's kind of part of it is a necessity, right? There aren't enough opponents in her own fucking weight class, and she has to go up and down or whatever the case may be and win belts there essentially to become challenged. Because this is the thing. Unfortunately, the way it is with a lot of female sports, and in particular boxing, the talent pool is just not that deep. So unfortunately, there aren't enough other good. There's that saying that steel sharpens steel or iron sharpens iron. Choose your metal. But there aren't the other person to sharpen up against. That's kind of the thing. So when one fighter excels, she basically wipes her division out like a motherfucker, and that's kind of what Serrano's doing. And that's not to discredit her skill, of course, is because it just so happens that she's head and shoulders above everybody else. She's moved up and down weight classes so much, I don't even know which one her actual real weight class is. Like, I've lost track of how many fucking. She looks good at everyone. And she comes into the fucking ring with all these belts, and my dad jokes about it. It's like she's got more fucking belts than Canelo. God damn, what the shit's going on here?
Andrew?
In 2007, Amanda Serrano's trainer was arrested for steroids.
Well, if you look at the photo that I got on the screen, it looks like I'd still have sex with her. I would. She's hot enough.
Wait, it gets better. In 2021, the same trainer was arrested for steroids. She didn't even let go of the guy. She stood with them even. Nah, you know what? I'm not fucking with this girl until I know she's clean, because we even heard them. They said this fight, this Showtime card wasn't drug tested, right? Isn't this something we talked about, you guys?
Yeah. And again, she's a PBC fighter, so the odds of her really fighting Katie Taylor are ridiculous. It's just not going to happen.
No, ain't she that Jake Paul? I think she signed with Jake Paul, bro. Yeah. She's under his promotion.
Are you sure? Because it's a Showtime. Okay, I'll stick with that he is. But cool.
But the story that's not being told is how many times this girl's trainer has been busted on the.
Who cares? Like, it's women's boxing. It's the most straight female boxing story we've done this year by far. Only because I'm just impressed with the up and down weight. And listen, clenbuterol will help you cut weight.
And it'll help cardio. It'll help
cardio. It's a miracle drug, actually. I digress. Moving forward, same card, same night. Jake Paul destroys Tyron Woodley badly. We actually had some comments from Bob Arum on the topic. Bob, what did you think about the fight?
UFC are a bunch of skinhead white guys watching people in the ring who are also look like skinhead white guys.
Yeah, I'm sure you do, Ariel Helwani. And by the way, Ariel Helwani walking around pretending to do boxing or whatever the fuck it was he was doing. I don't even have respect for... I get it. It's a real day job. But Ariel... Didn't you have an ESPN gig at one point? Like, what happened to you, bro? You're shilling out for Showtime? Oh, man, I gotta...
And just be exact...
So much wrong with what went on that card.
She has won 9 world titles in 7 different weight classes. She is the Pacquiao of the women's era.
Yeah, she's crazy. It's crazy. You still have to have some skill level. Let's talk about Tyron.
Surprising that steroids would be linked to her also.
Andrew, do you want to start your epic rant about Tyron and Jake Paul that you went on for actually about 3 days and put on social media and texted us probably on a daily basis every time you found more credible evidence about Dana? You actually wrote. Do you want me to read what you wrote? Like, you wrote an actual article on this topic.
It was a throwback to
It was a throwback. Andrew actually wrote an actual art. Oh, by the way, definitely go and see Andrew and Chargers gear. The only reason you really got off the hook about this, Andrew, I was going to actually pay for advertising. That look on your face in that hat is just goddamn priceless. Like somebody literally stuck a stick up your ass with that hat on.
It hurt my... It really did. I was having weird things going on. I had to tell myself, I'm 42 years old. I can do this. But
immediately family called me, and they're like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah, because I posted it everywhere. Oh my God,
yeah, dude! Just like Lee, I sent you the photo. I don't know how fast you.
I was out with a friend. Literally, when you sent it to me, I was out with a friend. I said, "No, can't talk. Gotta post this everywhere." And hilariously, they're like, "What?" I'm like, "You don't understand. This is a moment, and it's a great moment." I actually want to raise the stakes. I think we should do henna tattoos for the end of the year game. I think that would be the best.
Find out when you're sick, because at 6:10 I got a text. Drew, what the hell? A Chargers hat.
Yeah. Take your hand off the microphone. It's just so great. All right, let me read what Andrew wrote, because Andrew did write something. I don't have a Lapachet voice, so the question is no longer, can MMA fighters stand with pro boxers? The question should now be, can they stand with a YouTuber? ? Dana White, I'm trying to do it with the same energy Andrew wrote this because I can feel it. Dana White should be preparing to call out Jake Paul about entering the octagon. I applaud Jake Paul for exposing the pay of MMA fighters and the lack of boxing skills. Dana always knew this, though. I think it's a comma there, just to nitpick. That's why he never went after the throne that boxing sits on in combat sports. He has always had the resources, never had the confidence to pull the trigger. Jake Paul has an out, comma, but correctly there. But he should be prepared for White to pull the trigger this time. Being the stepchild to boxing, he could live with, comma, but to a YouTube influencer? ? It should be a ... I feel probably there. Clearly, your wife did an amazing job of editing this for you, and again, kudos to her. She, I guarantee we need to give. You did it all by yourself, then?
No, that was my daughter.
Oh, okay. Well, shout out for your editors, Andrew. Yeah.
She's got the freshest brain out of all the family now. That's what I told her. Same
with my daughter. So, yeah, we did better with daughters than we care to mention. By far, Andrew and I did better with daughters than we care to mention. And I'm hoping for your boys, but the fact that they make shivs and you're worried about Sonic the Hedgehog being a school shooting, and hey, check the archives for some of those wonderful pieces we did about the boys. I love the boys. They're my favorite. They make me smile all the time. Andrew, would you like to elaborate on your piece that you wrote for Fight Net Radio?
Forgot half of what I was going to say. Look, all I'm basically saying, Lee, is it's time for Dana White to put his money where his mouth is. For a long time, the UFC they always try to compare themselves to boxing. Whenever they have a fight and they stand up and the guy looks halfway decent, they start throwing out some stupid ass comments all the time. I was never a big fan of this. Listen, I don't even know where to begin or how to take this, but no, Lee, the fucking Dana White, I think it's time for us to put an end to this discussion, or the UFC put up the money to get a legit. I don't know if they want to get Jake Paul in there, but I would like to see a real fight take place between two champions in both sports, and we see how it goes. But everyone trying to make fun of this or try to make this as it was a fixed fight. I would rather you guys go after Dana White on getting this thing done. Dana White has the money to make a fight between a boxer, a legit world champion, and a legit champion out of the UFC. They have the money. They have the pay-per-view buys. What's the holdup? For too long, we've been arguing this. The fans argue this. I don't know if that's the drive right there, is just keeping it fresh. Me personally, though, I think Dana White knows that his guys cannot stand toe-to-toe with the striker. He knows how it would end. Woodley was just, he didn't do anything different that you don't see in the MMA. That's how they get knocked out all the time. They don't move their head.
Wrestlers don't move their heads. Get it right, because we've seen it twice now with wrestlers not moving their head.
Well, it's wrestlers
That's why
not knowing how to
knockouts
react when the punches come in.
Out of your seat kind of knockouts is because no one's moving their head. When you get hit like that, you're gonna get lights out. That's how any boxing trainer would tell you. Matter of fact, you hear Timothy Bradley and fucking Andre Ward say it every ESPN fight. Get your head out of the line. Get your head out of the line. Well, UFC fighters, they know nothing about that. That's why they constantly get put down on their face first on the mat.
Miguel?
For starters, this is another huge L for MMA. Like another huge L. We don't want to look at it that way because it's not an MMA fight. You know, it's not in a cage. There isn't, anything else as far as the rules with takedowns and shit like that. But the bottom line is, not too long ago, Tyron was the champ, was the UFC champ, right? And he's won his fight a couple of wins. He's won his fights a couple of ways, defended his title a couple of different ways, submitted a guy, knocked a guy out. This fight, again, that the bottom line is that his boxing is shit. We know this. That's the reason he was chosen. He's naturally a smaller guy. That's the reason he was chosen. There's a reason that Jake Paul is going after these guys that can't box for jack shit and that are naturally smaller, probably can't take a punch of a naturally 190, 200-pound dude. It's continuing. It's going to continue to look bad as long as these guys are going to be like MMA fighters or former UFC fighters are no longer under contract with the UFC to continue being baited into these fights with big paychecks because they're so fucking thirsty for money. They're so thirsty that they're not getting or they hadn't gotten. Because let's be real, no active UFC fighter is going to be. It has to be like a fucking superstar the way it was before with Conor and Mayweather. I don't think that's going to happen again. Obviously we saw what happened there with Conor getting his ass handed to him. So I doubt. I would have to assume that MMA has a better chance this time with somebody who isn't a professional boxer like Floyd. But it's this. I'm not even sure. Like when I saw this, I was like, I'm not sure if it's going to go that well for Tyron in general, just because he took the fight on, I think 3 weeks notice or 2 weeks notice or something like that, right? So who the fuck knows if he was even training? He's over the hill, right? We understand this, but man, it's a bad L, and I highly doubt that. To some degree, I have to feel that Dana White is just like pissed off as fuck underneath his facade of keeping it cool, because he's gonna make it seem like he really doesn't give a rat's ass. It's like, it's not one of my fighters anymore. He's not realistically going to allow any one of his fighters to go out and fight Jake Paul while they're still under contract. Yeah. And he's, there's even been already an offer sent to Jorge Masvidal by, what's his name, by Jake Paul himself, right? Saying like, hey, here's $5 million, what the fuck? But, Jorge is saying like, no, they're not going to fucking let me, basically make it a bigger payday. And it's already going to be a thing about money, right? We understand that.
It's all about money. If you look at the Francis Ngannou situation, which was very public for like 12 seconds, right? Ngannou would be very interesting fighting a heavyweight, right?
And he's got one more fight in his contract left, and he's talking about not renewing.
Somehow Dana got him to shut the fuck up on that topic.
Quickly. As far as I understand, like, I don't know the ins and outs of the UFC contract, but if you're a champion and you win your last fight on the contract, I thought they had some kind of clause where it just rolls over and continues going as long as you're the fucking champion. As far as I recall, that's the way it was. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know shit about contracts, so fuck if I know. But I remember that being some sort of clause in there. So I don't know if it's going to happen. If Ngannou ends up losing his title in this last fight, obviously there's going to be some leverage lost going out on his way out of his contract to fight, if he does go and fight, a professional boxer or some shit like that, or another YouTuber or whatever the hell it ends up being.
Or is he going to pull a CM Punk and take the belt and run out of the building?
Yeah, right. Blow him a kiss, blow Dana White a kiss on the way
Dana
out.
White a kiss and going, I'm going to go defend my belt in AEW. Jake Paul.
Yeah. Right, exactly. So whether we want to look at it this way or not, it's a fucking huge L for MMA. We knew it was going to happen. It's like, damn it. As soon as I saw this, I was like, fuck, here we go again. Tyron is going to disappoint the fucking MMA fans again. And sure enough, it happened. I didn't think it was going to happen this way. And this is my, I'm going to have to put on my tinfoil hat conspiracy theory on this one. It's going to be a little bit wild, but just follow me here for a second. It seemed, we know that Tyron is not a great boxer. We understand that, right? But if you watch the ending sequence, there were a couple of times where Jake Paul throws a 1-2, and out of what appears to be instinct and some sort of training, Tyron brings his left hand up, right, to kind of block. The 1-2 actually lands anyway, but the bottom line is he brought his hand up to block, which is, kind of, second nature when you practice, when you're striking for a long period of time. And then Jake Paul throws a feint, and again, he brings that left hand up, blocking it, right? And then Jake Paul throws a Hail Mary telegraphed right hand, and, what's his name? Tyron brings his left hand down. It's like, okay, that looked a little sketch, right? Common sense says nobody who's going to throw a fight is going to ask for a concussion, right? You're going to give me a soft body shot, I'll, take the 10 count, a la De La Hoya, Bernard Hopkins, right? Boom. I'm hammering the floor. I'm like, ouch, my body. I'm standing down. I stay down for the 10 count. Makes sense. However, we know that sometimes, right, and this is experienced, Andrew, myself, and you, Lee, we've sparred before, right? We sparred with guys who are inexperienced, and sometimes they don't know how to, throw a punch with less power, right? They end up throwing you, and you're like, oh, shit, I got to check this guy because this guy doesn't realize, hey, we're sparring. You don't go 100%. Don't hit me that fucking hard, bro, right? I feel that maybe Jake Paul can't control his power that well yet, and threw that right hand a little harder than he was supposed to, and it ended up fucking Tyron a lot worse than it was supposed to. Yes, it is a stretch. It seemed a little sketch just seeing that, Tyron brought his left hand down, but that's just my conspiracy theory.
And that's what I mean. I've seen a lot of these conspiracy theories come out by the MMA side, and that's why my argument would be, let's get away from that and get more on Dana White to make it happen. It's time for him to put his money where his mouth is. You guys have paid into that platform long enough not to get your justification in the octagon that you guys are the ultimate fighters, right? That's what this is all about. Ultimate fighting.
Because that's exactly it. Because that's what everybody says. All right, well, get your ass in the ring then. Well, I'm sorry, the cage, the octagon, right? Well, that hasn't happened, and that's what we're thirsty for.
That's what we're thirsty for, and it's time. Look, Mike Tyson offered his services. Vladimir Klitschko offered his services. Manny Pacquiao, Vasily Lomachenko, Kermit Cintrone. When Cintrone was undefeated and a champion, he challenged Matt Sierra. Yeah. These call-outs have happened with no response from Dana White. Dana White is Anderson Silva versus Roy Jones. I'm sure a point in Roy Jones's life, if they would have offered that man enough money, he would have gotten in the octagon. Roy Jones is not Floyd Mayweather rich at all. The pay-per-views a Silva versus Jones fight would generate. Don't tell me you don't have enough money for Roy Jones to get in there. It's time for them to get this fight going if they want it. I don't think they want it. I'm sorry. I don't think Dana White wants to put all his fucking eggs in one basket. They'd rather go off of this bullshit argument that we've been doing for 25 years now. Back to the knockout. Would it seem like Lee Miguel, two guys pretending they were boxers, and one not knowing how to move out of the way out of the punch? He's over there, he's putting his hands down, he got a little bounce going on. Oh yeah, he's playing the role. Here comes the punch, fuckface. What are you gonna do? See? Right on the chin. Right? He has no reflexes. None of them do. I used to say, Miguel, you watch their replays of 90% of the knockouts in that cage. These guys are shutting their eyes before the punch comes. They're putting their hands up. They see the punch. They know it's coming.
Yeah.
Move.
It's just not the proper reaction. It's not the kind of time that a boxer puts in the gym as far as getting that to be second nature. To react a certain way, like let's say you're stunned and you're hurt and your body goes into autopilot mode, you have to have that instinct to be able to continue to move your head even without thinking, without realizing you're moving your head. You're just going at it because that's how you're taught, right? That's the constant time. I don't think, definitely not now that there's a mixed martial artist who does that. Primarily just because they're not, great boxers in general, but also they are going to have to split their time between boxing and kickboxing and jiu-jitsu and all the other martial arts that are involved in it to be able to be as complete a fighter. They can't, I don't think they can be that excellent at everything. It just so happens that the striking is one thing that they're lacking in. But yeah, it's a lot of not knowing how to react to some punches coming their way.
truth is out there. Derek Chisora drops 3 times to the canvas.
You know what? Art? I don't know how to start it. You know, did you see the young man, the truck driver that got sentenced to 110 years and 4.5 million people signed a petition, and now they're talking about bringing that man back to the court and redoing his sentence? You guys hear about this story?
No.
No, serious? Lee, have you heard about this story?
No. I haven't,
shit.
and
Well,
I watch 5 hours
I don't
of
watch the
content
news,
and
so.
media a day for my job. 5 hours.
Lee, I don't know how you don't know about. In 2019, a Colorado truck driver lost his brakes and did like a 29-car
That I
pileup
know.
that killed.
I didn't know that they were taking him back into court. I know the original story.
Well, the DA asked today. It's today. It's breaking news. I'm sorry.
Oh,
They
okay.
asked today, though, to see if they can bring
I'm
him
sure
back.
it'll be in the news feed tomorrow when I look at all the news clips. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Where I'm leading to that is we need to get a petition signed for the UFC to get a real champ. We got to show Dana White that we would buy it, you guys. If they seen 4.5 million people sign that, I will buy your event if you have Tyson Fury fight. What's the heavyweight champ?
Ngannou.
Yeah, if you have Deontay Wilder fighting Ngannou, whoever we think
You know
of the
what? They
matchup.
fight about the same. That might be a fun fight. I'd be into it. That's actually not a bad matchup. They both don't throw a lot of punches, and they all have one punch. They both have one punch power. And Ngannou throws a monstrous hammer.
Who's the champ at 168? Who's next to Saul Alvarez?
Kamaru Usman. It's 170 in UFC, but it's a Kamaru Usman.
Usman can't box.
Yeah.
He's
No,
not
he can't
a
box
stand-up
shit.
guy.
No.
Well, no.
But he might take him down. Who knows? Hey, it's all fair game in the cage. Take his ass down.
Yeah.
But this is what we need to ask for, and we need to get petition. We need to get it started, man. Get 4.5 million. We'll get it changed too.
The 974-year-old Chisora drops 3 times as Joe Parker remains on Survivor heavyweight division. I feel like I need Survivor. I didn't realize until I did that joke that I'm missing out on. This is what this is. It's heavyweight Survivor. That's what this is. This is legitimately heavyweight Survivor. One will pass and one will go. Like, how do we vote Joseph Parker out of the heavyweight division? Like, I feel like that's a CBS special that I want to be a part of. Voting Joseph Parker. Like all the other... there was a story I didn't put up where, this is true, King Kong. Louis, why can't I think of his name, Miguel?
King Kong?
Cuban.
Oh.
King Kong.
Oh, Luis Ortiz.
Luis Ortiz. He believes he's being ducked and people are afraid of him in the heavyweight division, and that's why he can't get a fight. No, it's because nobody wants to watch you fight, fucker. You're going to lose to people in the top 10, but he remains in the top 10, and therefore...
Or win a boring-ass fight.
Right. Same with Joe Parker. Like, how do we vote him off? Like, I'm with Andrew. If we're going to do this, let's go all the way. Let us go online and vote to eliminate people from the top 10. And then we do a Survivor special where all the heavyweights sit around in a circle, right?
And we can call in.
And we can call in and vote. Oh, my God. ESPN, call me. I got lots of ideas for the different divisions. Who should Canelo fight next? We'll put them all in a panel and let them all plead their case, right? And let everybody call in and vote. It'll be must-watch TV. If I had the PBC, let me tell you how I'd run it. Put all those goddamn welterweights on TV on Fox and let the fans vote these fuckers off. Oh, my God, compelling. It'd be the most compelling boxing TV ever. This is better than season 1 of the Sugar Ray Leonard thing, right?
The Contender?
The Contender, right? Fuck that. I don't want them to fight each other. I'm done with that. Let's do this for real. You lose your contract. I'm a genius. Call me, PBC. Call me. Joe Parker remains in the heavyweight division by eliminating Derek Chisora, who they're now talking about either Parker or, believe it or not, Chisora being in the Tyson Fury mix, which is hilarious. Because Tyson Fury, I think, can fight both of these guys on the same night based on the skill level. I'm sure you watched this fight, Miguel. What did you think of this. I didn't even watch the replay of the clips. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Yes, I did watch it.
Of course
I
you
do.
did. Of course you did.
Of course I did, right? I work Saturday mornings, right? So usually UK fights are early on our time. So yeah, you best believe I turned on DAZN and caught this while I was working. So I mean, Chisora, shit, man. There was a couple of times where earlier in the fight where I thought they were just going to stop it. He got hurt and he got rocked and he continued to get hurt. And it just seemed like the referee was just every single time was seconds, right before stepping in. And Chisora ends up throwing like haymakers and doing this, a Hail Mary right hand. And then the crowd erupts, right? Because they're like, oh, our man is still alive. And he started throwing basically anything he had, everything but the kitchen table the kitchen sink. And the referee, was like, okay, I'm not going to stop it. But every single time it was just so damn close. It was bad, dude. Chisora took a fucking ass whooping. Like,
he's 100.
Yeah, he is. And on top of that, the shots that he took, man, like this guy was not taking, soft shots from the fucking, Chocolatito. He was getting heavyweight fights from Parker or punches. So, I can imagine in the next 5-6 years or so, Chisora is going to be slurring his words because like he took such an ass whooping in this fight. He really doesn't need to. I mean, I don't know how old he actually really is. I know he's not 100 or something, but he's up there in age. He really does need to call it quits. And if I'm not mistaken, I've already seen quotes of Chisora earlier in the week saying like, no, fuck retirement. I'm not going anywhere. It's like, bro, damn it, man. Relax. Yes, just hang him up, man. Because it was not good. It was not good.
You've been voted. The tribe has spoken.
You've been voted. That's it, bro. You're off the island. You're off, bro.
You know what? It would have been more compelling of watching do Survivor challenges than boxing. Yes, I found the theme. For those listening to the audio or people watching the video going, took you that long? First of all, the only thing I know about the theme to Survivor is that horn at the beginning.
Yeah. That's it. It's
the
like
rest of it,
when it goes to commercial break. Yeah.
And you are done, Chisora. Nobody will pay for you.
You're voted off the island, Chisora.
And as for Joe Parker, every time he fights, I'm like, he's still in boxing? It's almost like Luis Ortiz. You're still in boxing? Haven't you found a new job yet?
I don't know what this win did for Parker. I mean, like beating the same dude damn near the same way. It's like, I don't know. Great, another win on his record, right? Another fight to add to the comeback.
There won't be no rematch. Dude, it's a trilogy in the making. It's a trilogy in the making.
Might as well. If neither of these guys have nothing else to do in the next year or so, they're going to fight each other a third time. Fuck it.
Nobody thought, what was it, Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz too?
Yeah.
Three's coming. What else is there? Andrew, did you watch it?
No. Both of these guys are kind of in no man's land right now. Joseph Parker's on the outside looking in at a Tyson Fury possible matchup, but I really think they would look probably to Andy Ruiz if Ruiz is available.
He's easy to take out. He barely trains. I don't think Reynoso can reinvent his
Parker,
fat-ass taco-eating self.
Are we talking about for Joseph Parker?
No, for Fury. I knew where he was going with it. But yeah, look, I would much rather have Andy Ruiz, who was just an overachiever at the right place at the right time. I mean, that makes all the sense in the world. I'm not convinced Andy Ruiz is a good fighter. I'm not. I think he had one good night. He got up, he got the title, and that is it. You are a one-and-done story, cowboy.
Especially to a boxer like Fury, Lee. Fury's from the outside. Yeah, I don't see Andy being able to get in and staying on the inside. He would get hugged. They would break it up, and then it'd be 1-2 all over again.
I'll keep saying
and Fury moves his head a lot. He's going to make Ruiz miss so much.
Can I just say it again? Because you guys, everybody who's listening, I'm sure you're all boxing fans, but I'll keep saying it again. He ended the Klitschko dynasty. He ended it. He did it. It wasn't Anthony Joshua. He was already a beat fighter at that point. It was a fat Tyson Fury that took out Tyson at the top of his game. Tyson Fury took out Klitschko at the top of his game. That's crazy. That's crazy. And you guys think that there's a heavyweight out there right now with a fit Tyson Fury who's loving singing his songs, and he's just in his own. He wants all those belts so bad he can taste it now. He's at the finish line, and he's at the peak. He's at the peak of his performance. There's no heavyweight out there for him. Not a one. Not a one. I'm going to say it. Not a one.
The last time I checked, Parker fights for Eddie Hearn, right?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Who cares? He's been voted off the island. I eliminated them in my new reality show. Can we do this like Chopped or one of the other game shows where, Gordon Ramsay just loses his mind? You're both gone, right? Cool. Mm-hmm. You should be.
I'm guessing we're going to be seeing a Dillian White, Joseph Parker fight on the undercard of some DAZN fight here soon.
Or how about a Luis Ortiz, Joseph Parker fight? There you go. One of you must go.
It's just because Eddie Hearn controls both of them, can't get him fights with anyone else, so why not, right?
Yeah.
And
why not? Correct. Heavyweights, you guys are a joke.
What's really weird though, yeah, I guess because that's also a redo. It's a redo. I don't know where this. They're literally in no man's land. Chisora and Joseph Parker. Because Joseph Parker, he's been beat by everyone. He's fought in everyone.
We haven't gotten to champions or previous champions, Andrew. I mean, that's the truth, right? We haven't gotten to guys who were champions refighting people at the top. Boxing is fucked up. Like, it is really fucked up to the point where...
Two guys. No, just talking about Dillian White and Joseph Parker here. Hold on. That's what I'm talking about. These two guys are kind of fucked in the heavyweight division.
Has Andy Ruiz done anything? Let's talk about Deontay Wilder. He probably should get a shot somewhere up at the top against him. How about Tyson? Here's a good one. How about Deontay Wilder versus Joseph Parker? That'll eliminate somebody from Survivor. That's not going to happen.
And it hasn't been done, right? That fight hasn't been done. Nope. So that's doable.
No, you know what we're going to get? We're going to get Deontay Wilder, Luis Ortiz 3. Derek Chisora versus Joseph Parker 3. We're going to get Anthony Joshua versus nobody in the top 10 1. Tyson Fury stepping over Dillian White to fight Alexander Usyk. Let's just cut to the chase and unify the belts and put them all on Tyson Fury so he'll fight I believe Tyson Fury would fight everybody in the top 10. I think he's that batshit crazy that if he got all the belts, he'd pull a Mike Tyson and just work his way down the list and just fuck the top 10 right up, one at a time. Let's do it all in a calendar year. Just get it over with. I live in a fantasy land.
Dillian White has beaten Chisora twice, Parker, and Povetkin. Still hasn't gotten the title.
There's a rumor that Povetkin's going to do another fight.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, God. No,
but that will be my retirement fight. Well, who was calling for you anyway to fight? That's the part I don't get in this scenario when I read the article. I didn't want to put it up because I feel like I'm helping promote that insanity. Like, dude,
don't, because he's worthless.
It's like Derek Chisora saying, I'm not done yet. Dude, I'm not going to help you out. I'm not. You got the tribe has spoken. You are no longer relevant in the heavyweight division. You couldn't beat Joseph Parker. What do you want? Joseph Parker isn't elite. He's never been elite. That's why he's been I think he's been at number 5 as a heavyweight for literally a decade. I think. At least it feels that way. He's always right in the middle. Yeah, I'm good enough to be right here in the middle and get, $1 million for a fight if it's a big name. Cool, bro.
Heavyweights have literally come down to two guys. Joshua is just on the outside because of a contract. But this is all about Fury versus Usyk, and there's really no other fight that catches the casual's eye.
Worth $10 million. He's worth $10 million fighting at number 5 for his career. He's worth $10 million. Retire. It's New Zealand. You should probably be king of that island or something. I'm guessing. I don't know. I digress.
He has a sparring match with Tyson Fury still, though. Listen, Tyson knows he can beat him. That fight is doable if they pull out of the Wyatt one. Parker has one more paycheck with Fury.
Yeah. And Tyson Fury hasn't fought in England yet with the shiny new belt. So, hey, great. Beat up a Kiwi? He's a Kiwi, right? New Zealand is a Kiwi.
New Zealand, yeah. Mm-hmm.
There you go. That's so exciting. It's a trip abroad for you Kiwis. I don't know if they allow them off the island, though. They might breed with other people. I digress, and that was very hateful and a slam on the Kiwis. Artur Beterbiev and Marcus Brown. Oh, I I watched it. I watched it. What an interesting little fight of headbutting, and I don't know what to make of this fight. I don't know if I'm impressed with Archer, who at points turned on all his superpowers at certain points in the fight, right? And looked amazing. Once he got the blood on him, like he freaked out and like became a different fighter, and then would cruise again once they got the bleeding under control, and then the ref threatened to stop the fight, and then he turned it on again, which leads me to believe that he was prepared to like defend his belt without putting in much effort. Am I wrong in that assessment, Miguel? That's what it looked like.
Yeah, that's. I mean, to answer your earlier question, I don't think you were impressed, because I sure as fuck wasn't impressed.
I wasn't.
Like I wasn't impressed, man. And like it wasn't like he went in there. It was another day in the office. That's kind of what it just felt like. It was very just going through the motion. Yes, workmanlike. Great workmanlike performance by Better Beef. But it was just, going through the motions until that blood started running, gushing, and then he's like, oh shit, okay, headbutt, time to, start cleaning this up. And by the way, I don't know who the fuck his corner man was or his cut man was, because they were doing a shitty job on that cut.
That was the best text
was
of the
terrible.
night. I was sitting with Killian when it happened, and I go,
good lord.
Because he's like, God damn, that's a lot of blood. And I held up your text for Killian, and he goes, yeah, no shit.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was terrible, dude. Like, it just seemed like the dude was just when they blow the 10-second whistle, right, and it's like everybody out of the ring, right? It seemed like that's when the guy started like in a rush, slathering on the
just
damn
stick it in the divot.
It was just, and then like he didn't even. He did it in such a rush, right? Like right before Bitter Beef came out for the next round, that it looked like he just basically opened the cut with his hand more and smeared the Vaseline to the right of the cut, and not even on the fucking cut itself. Like, it was just such a shitty job. It probably could have been handled a lot better, but it made for a crazy visual, right? Seeing him bloodied like that, and if I'm not mistaken, I think Brown was also cut on one of his eyebrows. I don't remember if it was from a punch or the headbutt as well, but you know what? Better Beef did his thing. He went in there and he ended up knocking Brown out. It seemed like a couple of times, like early in the fight, I was like, all right, Brown's not just here to look out the paycheck. He was throwing his jabs. He was throwing his was he southpaw? I think it was southpaw, right? This is straight.
Yeah, he was a southpaw, and he was awkward, and he led with his head, and he led with elbows, and
he allowed himself to get cornered like so damn much. Yeah. He allowed his back against the ropes. Like, I understand that he doesn't want to throw down with Better Beef, but it looked like he was, at least earlier in the fight, it looked like he was faster. It looked like he was throwing the jab. It looked like he was like, all right, he's not just here to fucking lie down for Better Beef, and he was there to actually put on the fight. And then I don't know what happened. He just seemed to wilt. He just seemed to wilt under the pressure. I have to assume that's what it was. But I know a lot of people are talking about Better Beef and Canelo, but let's slow down that, because I wasn't too impressed with Better Beef. Congratulations for winning the fight, defending his title, or titles, right? I think he's got two of them. Great, continue marching on. But man, it wasn't. I did not watch the fight a second time.
It was rough to watch. I think I was. Is Butterbean from Canada? Is that why we're doing that in Canada?
I don't know.
I couldn't figure out why it was in Canada. Like,
he lives there.
Okay,
yeah.
He lives there.
Yeah.
All right, but still, they sold out that fucking arena for Butterbean. Like, I couldn't. All of it was just, I was staring at it, waiting to play poker, and I'm like, what am I looking at? Like, I was just completely. It was like eating lemons or something while I was watching it. I couldn't. First of all, there was nothing else to watch, so I watched it. Andrew, did you watch this fine spectacle?
Yeah, no, it was a decent fight. The guy's 17-0-17. Very robotic, but it's a very hard robot to face, right? He's heavy-handed. He throws a good jab right hand. Got a good chin behind him, so he's going to be hard for anybody. Definitely a slick boxer would probably have I won't say an easy night, but I think you could build points on Better Beef. He doesn't look like that much of a points fighter, but he might not need points because, like Marcus Brown case, he was taking the punches pretty good. Getting some good exchanges. I think that's why he wasn't really nervous about being on the ropes at times. But then just overall, the guy never stops. He just keeps coming and coming. And I think Brown was hoping that at some point he was going to get tired and they would back off. But The combinations, the speed, the power, it stays with them the whole fight. I like his combination, his hand speed when he throws his combos. I don't know how it would do against Saul Alvarez because Saul's kind of gone as soon as he sees the one punch, right? He's very fast on the defense, his reflexes. So I don't see him just laying on the ropes like Marcus Brown was doing it and testing the power, I guess I should say. But let him keep, let him and Ramirez and Bivol, I guess, work it out. And the winner maybe will face Saul. Saul, he can't keep this moving up in weight. I know it looks good. The Kovalev victory looks good, but Saul, in my opinion, has looked small in all of these fights.
Yeah.
Eventually, that's going to catch up to you. You're not going to be able to duck every single punch that comes out to you when you're facing nothing but bigger men. So.
And his power is not going to. The power is going to stop eventually.
Dominate a heavy-handed fighter like this.
Yep. Which takes us to the ice cream of this week. Where do we even begin? Let's just start off because I was able to get some training footage of Chavez Jr. for everybody. So he trained really hard for this fight. I mean, you can see that if you're not watching the video. This is him in camp right now, getting ready for that fight, man. He's amazing. He's, what can you say? That's the best way to do camp. Have your dad beat somebody up. And by the way, hey, shout out to who's in the video with him, which is hilarious to me. Hi, Sean. Yeah.
I believe he failed the drug test for this fight. Everyone was making fun of him because he's eating cereal in his underwear, and he ended up failing a weed. He was busted, I believe, on this one.
This was leading up to the Maravilla fight, no? I think
this is leading up to the Maravilla fight. I'm just funny. It's funny that Sean's the guy in the video, and Sean looks terrified that he might actually get hit by Chavez Sr. in the training. So much enjoyable about Chavez. So uninspired, and this is Martinez, man. He didn't fucking train back then. Oh, what do you mean? I gotta throw punches underwater? What? I can't do that.
Can we just swim today?
Yeah, Dad, can we just put on the wing? Can you toss me the ball, please? Okay, Chavez Jr. for all the shit that we're talking, because there won't ever be enough shit to talk. This dude would have been voted off so many times on the. He's like one of those knuckleheads. Shout out to Sean. He's one of those knuckleheads on the Survivor shows that stays on way too long because he's an asshole, right? And the fans just like having an asshole on Survivor for most of the show. Chavez Jr. is boxing's equivalent to every lunatic on a reality show. I think we're only interested because he's a nut. He's certified, like, he doesn't pass drug tests. He doesn't train. The video clips did you post them on the website, Andrew? Like, the clips of this dude are phenomenal. Yeah, here. He's phenomenal.
I don't think he
doing
even,
cocaine.
I don't think he
do it
even
again.
tries
Do it again.
to pass
Do it
drug
again.
tests.
Do it again. Yeah, that was good. Do it again. Do it again.
That's some good Colombian shit right there.
You are the best. You are literally, you are a video highlight montage. If I were going to make video clips from the year, they'd just be Chavez of this year, training in his boxers or in the garage or, and this.
Doing the ladder thing, coming back from the...
Yeah, all of it, right? The coming in at 3 a.m. and working out in your party clothes because you're a boxer. Have we played the Can He Knock Me Out game with Chavez Jr.? I feel like we have. But
I'm sure we have, yes.
We must have.
Yes.
I want the fight with Chavez Jr. next. I think I got a real shot here.
Breaking news.
Yeah.
Jake called him out today.
Chavez Jr.? Why wouldn't he? I'm calling him out, and I have no business. Theoretically, I have no business calling him out at all. Theoretically, but I'd like to believe I've got a pretty good shot. What weight do I have to cut to? 185? I mean, how does this keep happening?
This anyway? I don't even know what the hell weight class he fought here.
I want to believe that his dad is just pimping him out for money. I want to believe this is all his dad and him still trying to please his dad. Dad's the promoter. Singer's the promoter.
There's an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia like that. Just so you know. Danny DeVito pimps out his kids. It's funny as fuck.
So great. He's so great. He won, by the way. He won against a dude named David the cab driver.
He won. Was it a majority decision? Like, was it one?
Heavyweight, unanimous decision. Although the codes were not released at all to the public.
Really?
Cards were not released.
Released? What? How they were just read? That's it, huh? Just toss the ring announcer a couple of $100 and be like, yeah, just announce that he won.
Wait a minute. Did you guys not see him sniffing a product in the corner?
We just played the video, Andrew. You didn't see it, but I've been playing it on a loop. There.
No, of course. Being sarcastic. I know you just seen that. Hello, nobody cared about what he was doing.
He
they didn't
snort cocaine like Steve Howe out in the outfield with nobody giving a crap in between innings. Like, he went into the corner, snorted coke, caught on camera. Right here. 1, there's a bump. There's bump number 2. And bump number 3. Get one more. All right. Now his fucking heart is palpitating. His eyes are popping out of his head. Now he can't catch his breath because his heart's palpitating. Yeah, you should take a bigger hit. Like, his corner guy even walks in. Yeah, it was good shit, right?
Like, do another line. Come on.
Another line.
Yeah. They actually do it again during the fight. There's 2 times they get caught on camera doing this.
I would imagine it's got to be smelling salt. I got to believe that he's not so fucking nuts that he's doing
I'm sure
bumps.
it's some sort of allergy, like nasal spray, help your, like,
steroids.
Clear up your fucking...
Or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's steroids, basically.
Do that. It doesn't matter
That's
what
not
it
legal
is.
either.
Yeah,
Look,
right.
it's equally legal for him to do cocaine or a steroid in the corner. So pick one. Which one's more fun? I mean, in my humble opinion, cocaine probably is more fun, but somebody's trying to hit you.
And it might actually help you more in the fight.
Yeah. He's so great. He's so great. Is he our fighter of the year? I mean, let's be honest. I think he's won for consecutive years. Hands down. I don't want to give away next week's show when we talk about our favorite fighters for the year. This dude steals it every year. I mean, for me, Verdejo makes a strong case by killing 2 people and getting caught on video and still pleading not guilty for being the fighter of the year. But Chavez Jr., bro, you've lost fights. Your dads disown you. You're doing cocaine bumps in the corner. Dude.
Yeah.
That is phenomenal effort. Again, teaser. Check out the website, boxingtonight.io on Monday, and our social media for the probable live show on Tuesday. But when we talk about year-end decisions for our favorite fighter, you notice how I'm using the quotes for favorite fighter. Our favorite fighters are the most fucked up fighters. And Deontay made a case, right, with his craziness with the weight of the suit and all that shit and buying into the hype and going back to eating babies and killing small animals to get ready. I mean, strong entry for this year. But when we get to the voting of this, I mean, Chavez Jr., you came out with an Academy Award performance here at the end of the year to make a strong case for favorite fighter of the year of Fight Net Radio. Andrew, what did you think of the aftermath of a fight where, I'll say it again, the cards were not released in Culiacan? This is in Chavez Sr.'s backyard. Andrew, your take. Did he leave the show already? Did he just text me
he
that he
did.
left the show already?
Well, no, he texted us the Jake Paul call out, but
okay. He disappeared. He probably did he leave the show already?
Yeah, it looks like it.
That is a thing. That's a thing. All right, let's end with you on this one, Miguel.
Well, you would think I would have watched this fight, right? But I didn't. I didn't watch it.
You can watch it if you want.
Sure.
There's no need.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
They all look the same at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm curious now the fact that he won according to these unreleased scorecards that he won by unanimous decision. It's like, holy crap, that he even won a unanimous decision, because honestly, I was like, okay, well, let me see who the hell he fought. Let's see how the fight went. So now I'm intrigued. Now I'm going to go look for it on YouTube and check out the fight highlights and see what's going on there. But, I mean...
He's assured that he's more focused.
Christ.
He's more focused.
Oh yeah, I'm sure after those snorting some lines, I'm sure he's really focused on that'll do that to you. I would not be surprised if he actually does take a fight with Jake Paul. I mean, yeah, with Jake Paul. I mean, why not? You know, it's
Take
his
the
next.
payday.
At this point, it's just a spectacle. He already got a nice payday against Anderson Silva. Even if he fucking lost, I'm sure he got himself a nice check there. I'm sure he's in line for another big payday against Jake Paul if this fight actually happens. But, I mean, why not? You know, do it in Mexico. Do it in the fucking bull ring. You know, so why not? Do it.
Yeah, let's see what Chavez Jr.'s net worth is. I'm intrigued by this question. $4 million. Wow.
Wow. All right. Well,
Wow.
It's not bad. It's up there. Yeah.
Well, it's more than I thought it would be. And just because it amuses me. Let's see what Singer's worth. Singer's only worth $10 million. Wow, Don King
geez.
fucked you up the ass.
Yeah.
One quotes 15. Even at 15, what? 100 fights and $15 million bucks.
Yeah.
That's a hard way to make $15 million bucks, bro. Hard.
Well, I mean, those 100 fights were a long time ago. Well, not that long, but long ago.
No, his last fight was this year.
Well, I mean,
technically,
was that really? Well, technically, you're right. Yeah, I
make
suppose.
$1 million
Yeah.
from that fight, maybe. You don't
Probably.
know. You don't know his story.
I don't know. Yeah.
All right, I'll tease it again. On Tuesday, I'm going to work very hard on live streaming the year-end shows, part 1 and 2, for all of you on the website, sort of as our year-end gift to everybody listening. Go to boxingtonight.io. Follow us on social media. We'll post it everywhere. I'll probably advertise it if we intend to do the live show, because I think it will be a massive pain in the ass, because it never works out when I try to record or do a live show. Ever. Like, historically for Fight Net Radio, it's just, unless I'm recording it and I can edit it, it just never seems to work out. But I'm going to try one more time for Tuesday night, approximately 5 p.m. Pacific, approximately. I have to find Miguel and I some tuxedo shirts for the year-end show on Amazon and order those and bring them to Vegas. And we will try to get Andrew on time home at a probably should do 6 o'clock to be reasonable about the whole thing.
Yeah.
So somewhere around 5 or 6 o'clock, if you want to book it on your schedule going, I want to watch this live and see what the car crash looks like, they'd probably edit the audio. You'd probably be right about that. I probably would edit the audio if it went completely off the rails. But it will be live and uncensored from Las Vegas. We'll look for a good backdrop and make it really interesting. I think we should do it. Maybe we can make a call to, what is it, Talk of the Town, the literal worst strip club in all of America. The 1-star Yelp reviewed Talk of the Town in Las Vegas. And see if they'll let us do it there live with the girls who have 3 breasts or something to make it really.
Yeah, or like 5 nipples.
And yeah, as a teaser, Chavez Jr. makes a strong case. Deontay Wilder makes a strong case for our favorite fighter of the year. Adrian Broner going crazy, strong case. Felix Verdejo killing 2 people makes a strong case. I just don't know if you can dethrone a guy that literally year over year who has provided so much,
and continues to provide. He's just a gift that gives on giving. He doesn't stop.
He was snorting cocaine in the corner, and he had a fight where they didn't release the scoreboards. He's phenomenal. Just
look at that.
Simply phenomenal. If that's
He's
not
like, more.
teaser to see what we have, let me help you guys.
What is that other guy? Oh, I want to see that video. The dude on the other side is watching, and he's like, "Yeah, look at the other guy. What is he doing?
Yeah,
like
nothing.
He's just watching.
He's holding up the ropes they don't have a commission
part.
there in Culiacan. This is my favorite. Is the guy in the corner going, "Yeah, it's good shit," at the last second.
Yep.
Right. That's more entertaining to me in this scenario.
The dude holding the he's like, what? I'm watching. I'm looking right there. Yep, I'm looking.
This is the fucking Zapruder film of all things. If you find this clip funny, because I'll probably use this as our commercial, hey, check out our live show, approximately 6 o'clock Pacific, on Tuesday of next week. That would be, I'll look it up, Tuesday the 28th. You guys should check it out. Come to Fight Net Radio on social media or to our website, boxingtonight.io. There'll be a big spot there. So look forward to it. About 5 or 6 o'clock Pacific time next Tuesday, Miguel and I will be live from Las Vegas for all the pomp and pageantry of finding out whether or not Chavez Jr. defends his title as our favorite fighter for this year, along with a bunch of new categories that Miguel and I will probably bounce off each other until we get there. And then I'll have to find all the clips. So if you're watching this video right now, click the button, go to our site, and click the like and subscribe buttons, because you'll get notified on Facebook when we go live. You will. That's how that works. And we're going to try to get you a live show for this thing on Tuesday. It should be a lot of fun. Anything you'd like to add for this week?
No, I mean, there's some fights this Saturday, but they're pretty shitty. They're just PBC
way
cards.
shitty, and one of them's a PBC fight,
shitty.
which is probably why Andrew left early. No doubt about that.
Most likely, yeah. But I mean, it's the last card of the year, basically, if you want to call it that way. But yeah, I mean, really nothing else.
All right, everybody. Have a wonderful Christmas, everybody. I'm sorry, wonderful holiday, because you can't say Christmas because the liberals stole it.
No, fuck that. We're saying Christmas.
It's Christmas. Everybody calm down. It's a fucking tree and a guy in a red suit. If anything, it's Deontay Wilder trying out a new outfit for the ring. Enjoy that. We will be back next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, we're going to be off for Christmas. The show will be on Tuesday, and the audio will be out. And the audio will be in 2 parts because we're kind of off for the next couple of weeks. So there you go. You're all caught up, and everybody's brought up to speed. Sam Navajero, please feel free at this moment to start sending me your suggestions for categories, the producers category. And we love you all. We appreciate you all. We appreciate you going to boxingtonight.io and